At the Okoli Law Group, we specialize in producing justice. If you or a loved one in the Atlanta metro area is facing serious criminal charges, then you need serious legal representation.
The Okoli Law Group is here for you. The Okoli Law Group is here for us.
The Okoli Law Group, serious legal representation.
Peace, fam. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I'm back in the States. I was in Senegal for about 2 weeks. Left March 28th, not March, May 28th. Returned last night, and I'm back now. So sorry about my absence. I apologize, but I'm back. I am back. We had a great time in Senegal. Had a couple challenges though. The bus broke down, and it's hot. The bus broke down, so they had to come and repair the bus and fix the AC because the AC went out. But they didn't fix it. But the great news was when we so usually when we do the Senegal tour, we start in Senegal, then go to St. Louis. So the issues that we had with the bus, if we were starting with Senegal this time around, they would have got handled in Senegal. The bus company's based in Senegal. I'm sorry, they would have got handled. The issues would have been handled in Dakar. The bus company is based in Dakar, but we started with St. Louis first. So St. Louis is about a 4-hour drive from Dakar, Senegal. And all the way, the bus was having some issues. But, they fixed the bus. We made it to St. Louis. Good thing is in St. Louis, we really didn't have to use the bus that much. On the way back, the AC went out, unfortunately. We'd be having some challenges sometime. But once we got to Dakar, they gave us another bus with AC, and we were good to go. But we had a great time. Ate Senegalese food. I do local food whenever I travel. Senegalese food. In my honest opinion, Senegalese food is the best food in Africa and is my favorite best food in the world. If you ask me, some people will disagree, but hey, I am open to having that argument, and I'm open for that challenge. Whenever y'all are ready to duel, I am here. I am down. But hit that like button, and please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. Like I said, returned back from Senegal last night. Dakar, you can fly direct on Delta from JFK to Dakar. The flight flies out 3 days out of the week. And this trip happened, the dates that we were traveling happened to land on one of those days where we could fly direct on Delta to Dakar, and then the group fly back direct as well. And it's only like on the way there, it's only like it's so flying from New York to Dakar and New York to Casablanca are like the two of the really the quickest ways to fly to Africa. It's only like a 6 hour and 45-minute flight. Again, flying from JFK to Casablanca and JFK to Dakar. It's only like a 6.5 hour flight, 6 hours and 45-minute flight, which is short. Because folks be like, man, I can't be in the air that long. I heard them flights is long. That's what a lot of folks tell me when it comes to flying to Africa. That's the in the words of Holopism, got to give him credit. That is the Negro stalling tactic. That's one of the Negro stalling tactics. Man, them flights is long. Man, I can't be in the air that long. It's only 6 hours and 45 minutes. You watch a couple of movies. And guys, excuse me if I have the hiccups. So on Saturday, there was a Muslim holiday called Tabaski. Again, on Saturday, it was a Muslim Islamic holiday called Tabaski, and I promise you, I think I ate a whole goat myself. Yeah, and it did something to me. Yesterday, I was kind of hurting. Like I had I don't know, indigestion. I was burping. I don't know. Had a lot going on. So I was on the plane burping the whole time. But I'm a whole lot better now. Acid reflux. I don't know. I overdid it. I love to eat, and I could be a little too greedy when it comes to food because I love to eat. I love good food. And when I say that goat was all natural and it was smacking and it was good and marinated right, I couldn't stop eating eating that goat. So yeah, but back to what I was talking about. So listen, if you don't want to be in the air that long, if you're afraid to fly on planes, and that's one of the reasons why you can't go to Africa because you don't want to be in the air that long, you can fly direct from JFK to Dakar or JFK to Casablanca. And like I said, the flight is only like 6 hours or 45 minutes. And then returning from Casablanca or returning from Dakar back to JFK, it's like an hour longer. Now, can somebody explain that? Is it was it the tailwinds? Or see, I thought it was the other way around. I thought the tailwinds was faster when you're going versus when we're returning. I don't know. That's what I was told. I don't know. Maybe somebody could explain that to me in the chat. To answer your question, it's our problem. Will, listen, I'll put the link in the chat room, and you're more than welcome to call in and explain why it's our problem. Today, with that being said, today's topic. Anyways, we had a great time in Senegal. Had a couple hiccups, but we worked through them. I'm big on if there's any problems, give me the opportunity to fix the issues, and everybody left happy. Everybody left happy. We ate. Y'all gonna eat good with me. In fact, where's I gotta play that video by. Oh, you meant not our problem. I was about to say, yeah, I don't think it's our problem. But yeah, everybody ate good. We had a great time. Shops. With my tours, with my trips, I'm more focused on integrating and immersing ourselves as much as possible with the locals. Like, we're tourists, but not tourists, if that makes sense. So we shop at the local markets, we eat the local food. The bus is always comfortable, but this time we had a couple hiccups. Hotels, you can see the hotels. We stay, 4-star or better. Well, elite minimum 4-star, depending on the city we're in. Now, we're in a smaller rural city. We try to get the best hotel available. But when we're in the car or in a major city, we stay in 4-star. You can look up the hotels. The hotels are on my site that we stay at, and you're more than welcome to look them up and read the reviews. But anyway, so we're rolling to Nigeria. We're rolling to hold on one second. Let me make sure this is off. Okay, cool. All right, so we're rolling to Nigeria in August 3rd to the 12th for the Oshun Festival. And then after Nigeria, we are rolling to Zanzibar. That's September 21st to the 30th. So if you're interested in joining us, please visit Donfo.Africa. Again, if you're interested in joining us, please visit Donfo, that's DANFO.Africa to learn more. Again, let's jump into today's topic. LA is somewhat on fire. I mean, not like the LA riots, but it's on fire a little bit due to Trump enforcing immigration policies. If you illegal, so I have citizenship and residency in several countries. So, of course, I have citizenship here in the U.S. I have citizenship in Nigeria. I have citizenship in Sierra Leone. I have residency in Senegal. Every country has borders. Every country has immigration policies. Every country, if you overstay your visa and if you get caught, you can be deported. Right now in Ghana, if you guys have never been to Ghana, or if you've been to Ghana, the ShopRite right across the street from a hotel I stay at called African Regent. So when I'm in Ghana, like one of my favorite hotels that I stay at is called the African Regent. So there's the ShopRite right across the street. And I remember the first time I went to Ghana in 2017, I go to ShopRite and I assume they were Lebanese, but I think they're from Chad. But in West Africa, if you look Lebanese, you're Lebanese. It's kind of like back in the day here in Georgia. When I was in Athens, Georgia, if you look Latino, you're Mexican. It doesn't matter if you're Venezuelan, from El Salvador, Venezuelan, or whatever. If you look Mexican, you was Mexican. If you look Asian, you was Chinese. Didn't matter if you was Japanese, Korean, you was just Chinese. So a lot of times in West Africa, a lot of people that we call Lebanese, they're not necessarily Lebanese. But I remember going to that ShopRite and these Lebanese, but I think they're from Chad, from what I was told. They're out there panhandling, begging for money. The whole family, the wife, kids, the father, like they were all out there. Guys, hit the like button. If you have not hit that like button, do me a solid. Hit that like button. Again, please hit that like button. It's for the algorithm. I ain't too proud to beg. Again, I ain't too proud to beg. So if you have not hit the like button, you watching this, hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe as well. So, from my understanding, those Chadians are starting to get deported. From what I was told, they're starting to get deported. There was also an influx of Liberians who had their own refugee community or camp, whatever you want to call it, in Ghana. It was tore down. I think some of them might have got deported as well. Ghana borders Burkina Faso, I believe. Yeah, Ghana borders Burkina Faso. And so they were having issues at the Burkina Faso Ghanaian border. Ghana had closed the border and deported some people back to Burkina Faso. In Senegal, you have an influx of people from Guinea, Conakry, and maybe Guinea-Bissau, because they both border Senegal. And some of them are going to start being deported. So, yeah, Ghana has deported Nigerians as well. Nigerians have deported Ghanaians. So the point I'm trying to make is that people protect and enforce their borders. So what I don't understand is, what's the outrage? Why are we upset? This is how things work. How do you overstay a visa for 20 years? How does that happen? Texas to LA is Mexico. No, it's not. It's America. Because and I hate this argument, this Texas to LA is Mexico argument. I hate it. The reason why is because if that's the case, the reason why people come to America, even with all its issues, even with all of America's problems, its past, its violent past, is because of the infrastructure. It's because of the opportunity. Even though America's not perfect, has its issues. The California and Texas is Mexico argument is laughable because the infrastructure is here. Again, it's not perfect. Man, if you ask me, cities like LA are absolute dump. But the infrastructure, the opportunity, still in LA. I used to live in LA. Much better than Mexico. I don't see are there people who immigrate to Mexico? Yes, but at the same rate as people from Mexico immigrating to America is laughable. Now, black people. I know some of y'all are dying for attention, but this is not your fight. And to my black immigrant family, this is not, even though this is immigration related, this is not a black issue. The reason why I say that, if these were predominantly black immigrants being detained, Maxine Waters and Karen Bass and all these other groups will care less. They would care less. Trust me. The only reason why the likes of Karen Bass and the likes of Maxine Waters, why they care and why they're crying and upset about Trump actually enforcing immigration laws is because their base, these are career politicians. Maxine Waters is a career politician, and her base in LA is predominantly Hispanic, Latino. And she's in a liberal city. So, of course, she's going to come out and be all riled up and pretend that she's going to bum rush. In fact, somebody needs to tap Maxine Waters on the shoulder. Like black folks tapped. If you follow black college football, Grambling was my favorite black college football team. They had a coach named Eddie Robinson, who I actually had the opportunity of meeting back when I was in junior high in Ohio, Akron or Canton, Ohio, either Akron or Canton, Ohio. We flew on the same flight. I got the picture somewhere. I got to find it because my mom sent it to me. And he was my favorite coach because I wanted to go to Grambling. I mean, I'm going to the University of Georgia because I was a pretty good athlete. Nothing against HBCUs, but I was a pretty good athlete. And yeah, so I took my talents to the University of Georgia. But I still respect Grambling. Eddie Robinson, still one of my favorite all-time greats. So what happened? Grambling alumni and the university, Eddie Robinson, excuse me, who at one time, I think, at one time held the record for the most wins across college football, who was the man at Grambling, who made Grambling. You would not know who or what Grambling was today without. Hold on. Here we go. We got jokes today. Dynas asked Coach Robinson how many snow bunnies on campus. Well, since the HBCU, probably one or two. I would say there are probably two snow bunnies at Grambling. Just two, because it's a HBCU. Valid question, though. That a valid question? Coach Robinson, how many snow bunnies are at on campus at Grambling and HBCU? Is that a valid question? I'm gonna go with two. I'm gonna go with two. Two snow bunnies at Grambling. Okay. So yeah, back. So they forced Eddie Robinson out. He was getting older. I guess he was out of touch. But they forced him out. Somebody needs to have a conversation with Maxine Waters, man. In fact, let me. Here we go. Where's Maxine Waters? Here she comes. Maxine, sit down. Like my mom, my grandma, like they retired. Like when is somebody gonna pull Maxine to the side and say, Maxine, it's time. You're not effective. It's time. Fair use.
No, I want you to. Hello. Congresswoman Waters, I just came to use my congressional authority to check on baby.
Ma'am, our lobby is secure right now to all visitors.
Excuse me, I need to get in.
Contact our public affairs.
I need to get in.
Like we saw this before, Maxine, when they slammed the door in your face at the was it the Department of Education. Like, just sit down. I need to get in for what? And what I want to tell, like, my black immigrant family, whether you're from Senegal, whether you're from the islands, if that was the majority of y'all in that detention center, Maxine Waters would not show up. I'm telling you right now. Haitian, Maxine Waters will not show up. I'm telling you. Like when Haitians and I think Liberians, I know Haitians for sure, who recently lost their protected, the protection status. I think Haitians lost the protection status. Maxine Waters, where's Maxine Waters at? So that's why this is not a black issue. Anyways, let's continue. Door slammed in her face. TPS. I'm sorry, TPS. Door slam. Oh, go rewind back.
I need to get in.
Contact our public affairs.
I need to get in.
I mean, Maxine got it. Hold on. Let me go this part.
You gonna shoot an elected official?
Look at her now. Listen to her now.
What are you gonna do? You gonna shoot some kid who's afraid of you and run? You gonna shoot an elected official? If you shoot me, you better shoot straight. I don't know why you're in my city. You did. The governor was not contacted.
Maxine, they're in your city because people were vandalizing federal buildings. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Why are we so down on Auntie Maxine? Because Auntie Maxine needs to sit down. We are down on her because she needs to sit down. Again, she needs to sit down. I'm sorry. She needs to sit down. She has been ineffective since the LA riots.
This is Trump and his outrageous attempt to not only target our sanctuary city, but to frighten us and intimidate us. This is wrong, and I hope that none of you will use those guns to shoot anybody. There's no reason to shoot anybody. Don't allow them to make your service in a service where you're killing people. Don't do it. Defy them. Don't shoot those guns. For everything. Thank you. Are you going to shoot a protester because you don't like what they're saying? Are you? Why the guns? Why are these guns here? That's my question. I don't get why the guns have to be here. We're a sanctuary city. We know Trump doesn't like us. We know that he's going to try to use us as an example. He's going to try to goad us so that he has a martial law. He even alluded to civil war at one point in talking about this.
Maxine, where's the billions of dollars you promised for the homeless, predominantly black? Again, where's the billions of dollars for the predominantly black homeless people on Skid Row that you promised? In fact, let me pull up this video of Maxine on Skid Row. So you saw Maxine at the detention center trying to bum rush it and got laughed at. Hold on. Now let me play this video right here. Hold on. I gotta find this. When she was on Skid Row. Because they pressed her on they pressed her on Skid Row and pretty much ran her off the block. Hold on, I got it. Let me see if this is it right here. Give me a second.
All right. Silk.
And keep talking it up. Keep telling everybody. Get the message out. And thank you very much. Thank you. You're welcome.
Encampment that I put here, and while I'm fighting, I give back to the community and I sow. Stephanie Arnold Williams on Facebook and Stephanie Styles on Instagram.
Okay, I'm Maxine Waters, and I'm here.
Hold on, I'm trying to find a video.
Okay. Free alteration to Skid Row.
Yeah, I gotta find a video, guys. But yeah, she was on Skid Row, and I mean, they pretty much ran her off Skid Row. So yeah. But yeah, black America, and also too, they're pushing this narrative that black Americans could be deported and all this other stuff. No, we can't. Here we go. I found it. Here we go. This is the video.
This is how I lowered my car insurance rate by $110. I had no clue.
I want everybody to go home. And I want
We don't got no home. Okay. That's why we here.
Miss McKinney to go home. And I want
We don't got no home. That's why we here.
So Maxine Waters is telling a group of black homeless people to go home when they're homeless. Maxine Waters.
everybody to go home. And I want
We don't got no home. That's why we here.
Miss McKinney to Miss Waters, can you
home we gonna go to?
Just a moment. Nothing is going to happen here today. Nothing is going to happen anymore today.
So what about
But
all these names?
what we gonna
telephone
well,
numbers
that's
that
what
the
yes,
can you leave working hard to help? Can you leave?
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. And so I will be downtown with Lassa. I will get the housing authority. That's why they came out here today. I made them come out here. And I'm going to go.
And you need to know why they're failing, because Blanca Jimenez repeated, we gave her several meeting requests for you concerning this in Lassa for years. And now they sit you
There's
here.
nobody in Washington who works for their people in harder than I do.
I believe you.
I don't want to hear that.
I believe you. So can we finish though?
No.
Work with me.
No.
Work with me so we can house people. That's what I'm
I
doing.
do every day.
Congressman, we're just, in case you can't see, showing video of you standing on the aisle and shaking a number of presidents' hands over the years, both Republicans and Democrats. So my final question to you, Congressman Engel.
No, you have not. Excuse me.
Talking to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had been talking to me about standing on the aisle and shaking hands.
No, I'm sorry, Congresswoman
I'm sorry.
Maxine
Okay.
Waters.
Yes,
I'm talking to
okay.
Congressman Engel, who has stood
Okay.
there and we've shown over the years.
He is wrapping his arms around Putin while Putin is continuing to advance into Korea. I wish to debate. I wish to ask, is there one United States senator who will join me in this?
Okay. Guys, I'll put the link in the chat room. If you guys want to call in and add to the convo, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the convo. Link is in the chat room. Let's be respectful. N-word tariff is on. You cannot say the N-word. You say the N-word, that is a $10 tariff. But you are more than welcome to call in. You are more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation. Again, N-word tariff is on. And you're more than welcome to click on the link, call in, add to the conversation. You agree or you disagree? All opinions are welcome. Again, all opinions are welcome. Go ahead, Ditso. Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
Yeah.
Go ahead. My floor is yours. Ditso, we can't hear you. Ditso, you're having some audio issues. Yeah. Come back. Leave and come back. Ditso. You're having some audio issues. Go. We winning. Go ahead. Unmute yourself. We winning. Unmute yourself. We winning. Unmute yourself. We winning. Yeah, is it me? Can you guys hear me? Press 1 if you can hear me. General Dave, can you hear me?
Hello.
All right, we will go ahead. We winning.
Hello.
We winning.
When it comes, man, this is funny as hell. Where black people are gonna really tote the party line to the point where you're defending anti-black Hispanics, where in LA, like the 92 riots, and this should be a prime testimony of how immigration definitely is designed to get you out the way very quickly and rapidly, where they don't want to see no niggas around. Well,
that's a terror.
Yep. They don't want to see any black people around.
Hold on, no, because sometimes y'all keep talking.
You can deport me. You can deport me. You can deport me.
Okay, go ahead, Dave.
I was just making sure my mic worked, because you was asking if anybody hearing you. I was hearing you, but I had to set my mic up straight.
Yeah, we hear you, Dave. Go ahead.
This is none of our business. It's African Americans. It's unfortunate. The main thing I think you do have a point when you saying if it was mainly, I would say people from the diaspora, you may have way more interaction and stuff like that. For me, the only thing that I look and say, man, this is super. The one that Haiti, bruh, like they've had a hellish election cycle with the cats and dogs thing. And then now to see, on the travel ban and get deported, my heart go out for the Haitians. You know what I'm saying? If anybody that'd be like, oh man, they ain't FBA and all of that. I'm like, we 49 million strong, dog. Like, them little numbers don't even matter. Solidarity there. I feel for that one. But that's my intro. I'm gonna go ahead and let Bobo say some things.
Go ahead, Bobo.
Not sure if y'all can how I sound.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We hear you, buddy. It sounds real muffled. And it's an echo.
Yeah, damn. All right.
Yeah. Well, let me bring Rudy on. Go ahead, Rudy.
Yo, man. I don't care whether they're black looking people, Latinos, or what. They all can go. They all can go. Because the majority of them are anti-black, brother. They can get up out of here. If they're not about black America, if they're not black Americans, why am I worried about them? We need to worry about ourselves right now. Is it right or is it wrong? Tell me.
I disagree because a lot of my black.
Okay, talk to me.
The majority, my experience, the majority of black immigrants have been the majority of black immigrants, my experience, okay, have love for me and the black community. My experience.
Are you black American or are you a black Latino?
I'm black American.
Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of my black immigrant family have lots of love for me.
That's why I say what I say, because I'm in Chicago and all of the stuff that be going nationwide, as far as the diaspora is concerned, it ain't really like that here.
Yeah. I have no issues in black immigrant family. They got love for me. They look out for me. I tell my black Ghanaian, Nigerian, Senegalese friends when I'm going back to the country, they roll out the red carpet for me. Right. So I have no issues with them.
Yeah, in all honesty, okay. All of that's fine and dandy.
Chicago.
All of that's fine and dandy, but let me say this: in America, well, let me ask you this: is somebody else trying to talk right now? Because I'll wait.
Go ahead, Rudy. Go ahead, Rudy. The floor is yours.
Okay. Look, in America, we don't have an unlimited number of houses and apartment complexes, jobs, and cars. We don't have an unlimited resource. These people come over here illegally. They didn't come over here the right way. So since that's the case, they need to go back home. They can go back home. We don't have an unlimited amount of resources. We just don't. But anyway, I'll land my plane right there and I'll listen to you, brother. Good to talk to y'all, man.
For sure.
How I sound now, Donnie?
You sound like you're on an Obama phone from Cleveland.
You go ahead,
I'm loading the truck, so it's a machine running behind me, so I don't know.
Well, can you put the phone to your ear? Or take it off a speaker?
Can you hear me now?
Are you on speaker?
Yeah.
Take it off a speaker and just talk directly to the phone.
Just keep going, man. We can hear you. Go ahead, man.
How did it sound?
That sounds better. Go ahead.
Yeah.
How that sound?
That sounds better.
That's
Go
better?
ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, this ain't our business. Wow, why we gotta dive in everybody else fight? Like that's silly. That's silly and go and fight for motherfuckers that don't like you. It's a part of their culture to be anti-black. I've been preaching this shit for years. It's a part of their culture to be anti-black. They anti-black in their homelands. You know what I mean? And then at this point, I'm even against the legal immigration. What we need these people don't do nothing to help us. They've done nothing to help us. They don't do nothing. They don't. They hate on us. They and if you let everybody flood your country, then the demographics of your country change. Then your whole country change. If you know when you go to Nigeria, you should see Nigerians. When you go to China, you should see Chinese people. You should see the people of the land. So you know what I mean? Like they have the demographics of America already changed, and it'll never go back to being the same. You know what I mean? So wow, we need to stop this shit now and get out in front of it. You know what I mean? Don't nobody at the end of the day. I don't want to see these people over here. I'm gonna be totally honest, bro. I'm not interested in seeing them over here. Period. None of them. I don't even care if it's black immigrants. I know this is a man not in the tunnel, but I don't want to see them over here. They don't like us. So why can't they? And then that don't help their country. I say this all the time. Donis, you a athlete and you a sports fan, I'm guessing. If all your star players leave, how you ever gonna win? You can't win if all your star players leave. It's time to stay home and build. If I want to take a trip to Mexico or some shit, it should be a new experience. I shouldn't be able to go to LA and feel like I'm in Mexico. I should be able to go to Mexico and feel like I'm in Mexico. And these people flying these Mexican flags around here and all this shit, but they protesting not to go back to their country. This was something else I'm gonna say. Where is the Proud Boys at? Where the Boogaloo Boys at? Where the Oath Keepers at? Where the 1%ers at? Where are all these defenders of America? Because if we say Black Lives Matter, white men form a militia. Yeah, you can see that 2020 riot. It was militias walking around in the streets. This is literally an invading force. They're tearing up a city, and they're flying foreign flags. And their president is saying we're gonna mobilize. Their president of Mexico is backing this. Where the Proud Boys at? Where all what the Klan doing? The Klan is busy. Where the hell's Angels? Give me somebody. Where all these white boys at? They're supposed to be defending America. Because if that was us, just simply saying Black Lives Matter in the country that we built. Oh man, the white man form a militia for that. You ain't gonna form a militia for this. You ain't gonna form a militia for the Palestinians over here tearing up shit, rioting with foreign flags, and you love America so much. No, it's really about black people. And watch this. This is my last point because I gotta stop this. But watch all that trying to drag us into they fight and all that kind of shit. They calling us cowards and all kinds of shit because we don't want to fight for them. You the coward because you play in your country. You ain't stay at home and fight. We ain't gotta fight for you. You know that's outrageous that they would access and they firebomb our communities. They motherfucking they're doing all kinds of shit. Nori Martinez sitting in office talking about she gonna undermine her black constituents. All that weird shit, man. We not about to be fighting for that. I hope that I see some black people out there in the crowd, but that ain't what it is. We ain't on that, and I'm glad that we're waking up.
No black people in the crowd, bro. Ain't nobody. The memo. I'm gonna pick up where Vovo left off, because I don't think that people know the strategy that African Americans are employing right now. What we noticed is that when we remove ourselves from these situations, a lot of situations, what will happen is, he's correct. The alliance is built off of fundamentally anti-black. And if you remove that element, that is the only unifying element that they have. And I mean everybody. So when you remove that, they go against each other and start destroying each other. And I've been waiting for people to understand the narcissistic nature of it. The only way to beat a narcissist is to remove yourself from that narcissist. It's called no contact. You have to go cold. And what they'll start doing is feeding on themselves. This whole thing, and he made a great point, is that you notice you're not seeing these oath keepers and everything else and all them other things that was going on with BLM, because like what Vovo was saying, the only unifying principle that unite all of these other factions into these large, that unite like Voltron into this large group, is fundamentally the need to oppress one group. And when my group removes themselves from these issues, and I'm saying the same thing, I watched all night yesterday, 6 hours straight. I watched them vehemently, the chats trying to put some type of black spin on it. And the only ones that were pointing out were the women, like, hey, wait a minute. This has nothing to do with blacks. Next time you see any footage of everything, of all of this stuff, just notice that the camera is going to always, the majority of the time, get pointed at the police because they don't want to show the crowd because there's not black people to show. When have you seen that one car burning is the most famous car on the planet Earth? A 20-year-old damn Nissan is the most violence that they can show. They have to show it, so they're going to focus on that camera. Then I went to the international news. The first one, I just told YouTube to never show me this channel again, which I used to like the channel kind of, which was DW News. On the screenshot, they had one black man that they found in the crowd. And I mean, it's the only screen that they showed was this black man talking to the police to say that this is the riot. And so I say, okay, you got 20 minutes of talking about this. Let me see what you show. Because on the screenshot to when you got to click on the video, it's a black guy. I went in there, and every time they had to pan to the crowd, they cut the feed to where they only had to show the police. So when we remove ourselves from these things that don't have anything to do with us, they gonna fight each other. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead, Rahotep.
Ben.
Vovo, General Dave, what's up?
What's up?
Uhuru.
Yo.
I really don't think this is our business, but we're gonna be looped in and thrown in with it because of discipline and being reactionary. We are we're not proactive. Well, I should say we are, but as a indirect collective or whatever group, whether it be Pan-African, whether it be whatever, we have fractured alliances. And second of all, a lot of us have a dog in this fight. So therefore, they're going to do what they're going to do. And we need to be very vigilant and careful with how we analyze this, because you got to understand, we must understand, this is not just so much about getting a particular group out of here. It's about thinning out the majority so that whatever that majority is, do not come together as a collective and unite against this system that has been victimizing all of us as a non-white group. And we got to be very careful of that. because don't think they just gonna stop at immigrants. Don't think they're just gonna stop there, because they're bringing in these Afrikaners and so-called South Africans to America to get them to blend in with that so-called majority in order to become a united front against all people that are classified as non-white. And we keep missing that. And historically, we have missed that because we think we have allies, or when the government do things on the federal or state level, that somehow it's to set the record straight or bring about compensatory damages, whether it be financial or equity or jobs. We got to be real careful with this, man. Because again, they got the narrative. They already got the narrative calling the situation riots. And no one is even on the street is taking the narrative, redirecting the narrative to the federal government overreaching the state's constitution and the authority that the governors of every state has for its citizenry. And this is what people are missing. Don't think that they hate them and love us. We got to be very clear on that. So I land right there, bro.
All right, go ahead, Shaw.
Greetings to the family. Yeah, I've been listening to different things, talking about it, but I think that I like someone's kind of way of categorizing things. They say it's the corporatists versus the oligarchs. The oligarchs are controlling the political system right now. The corporatists, which is the Democrats and Republicans that are, regular politics now. We go back and forth with Democrat, Republican in office, and we keep things cool, keep things running the way, that they like stuff running, which at the end of the day doesn't benefit us as a people. We get the short end of the stick no matter what. But even with people making that assessment analysis of the oligarchs, which are the money people, right, that are in control now, they've sort of separated themselves out of the Democrats and Republican money people, because those people are running the country too. That at the end of the day, they will all come together, all these so-called different factions, to make sure that we don't come up, that we stay in a position where we continue to feed their money system. And that goes for wherever we are in the world, so they don't delineate and separate Africans from African Americans. We're all in one, and I'm going to say this pejorative, we're all in one nigga. Oh, damn. But Dinus, allow me to make this point, because it's very important that I say the word in this case.
Yeah, context. Go ahead.
Yeah, bag. One, nigga bag. So, and I won't use that word again, but because I know Dinus is very, very good. I like that about you too, Dinus, that's it. But anyway, that's my 2 cents right now. I'll land right there.
All right, guys. Links in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the convo, you're more than welcome. Go ahead, Rahotep.
Okay, brother moderator, and I'm going to say also dealing with this military thing, because I am a veteran. And most of the brothers that know me know that, and this is a dangerous precedent by federalizing National Guard and then bringing in already federalized active duty troops, may it be the Marines, Army, Navy, or what have you. This historically has not been done since the end of legal segregation. And when they did this, when they federalized the National Guard, it was to protect the citizens that has just been integrated into the system that was a racist system that wanted to keep segregation forever. This is one of the ideas that George Wallace had. He said segregation now, segregation forever. So when you see them videos
when they begin to integrate schools in the South and in the Midwest and in the West, you saw National Guard having to escort Black children into these schools that they were being by legislation bust into because of the legal delegalization of segregation. So now this is an unconstitutional act based on the Posse Comitatus Act. That's the reason why we have a clause in the Constitution for well-regulated militias. Me personally, I believe this is the pretext in order to disarm all those that are in blue states, and I put that in quotes, so that we don't have a way to defend ourselves if now that the federal government is overreaching and taking the power, usurping the power from the states and the state's constitution. And this is the dangerous thing, man, that's going on right now. And that order, if I was still active or if I was reserved, I would not follow that order because it's an unlawful, unconstitutional order.
Hey, I missed part of that. What order are you talking about?
When they say that the president of the United States has the executive authority and power to federalize state National Guard, whether it be National Guard, Army, or any reserve component, that he has authority to do that. No, he does not have the authority to do that. There's specific cases where that's able to be done under martial law or a insurrection or threat from a foreign or internal enemy that threatens the sovereignty and the democracy of these United States.
And this is not a threat. This doesn't threaten the sovereignty and the democracy of the United States. No. These are illegals.
No. What I'm saying, no, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the way in which he's going about it. You can't just say I'm the president.
No. You know you're about to lose right there. This is a foreign nationals from another country flying foreign flags, attacking police officers, attacking citizens. That's not from here. They don't belong here. They're fighting.
If that's the case, why aren't all of us as citizens of the United States who are connected to the corporate component of the United States, which is the International Monetary Fund, why are we not taking arms up against this foreign? Why are we not taking up arms?
False equivalence. No. You ain't. I don't know. You must know who I am. I don't play like that. You can't be. No, you can't.
I know who you are.
You can't. No, you can't get that off on me, man. This ain't got.
Give me the law. Cite the law. Cite the law or the section in the Constitution that gives the president authority to do this.
We're talking about non-citizens.
No, okay, a non-citizen.
But non-citizens can work in the farms.
Is a nationalized citizen
that broke our immigration laws.
Non-citizens can work in the farms and be servants. Everything's fine then.
And also that not only that,
over here legally and work in the farm, and then I really don't like it, but hey, that's cool.
Let me ask you this: why aren't they arresting the companies and the corporations that's hiring these so-called?
Exactly.
We ain't talking about that right now.
No, yes, we are. We got to talk about the whole component right now. Bobo,
that's part of the picture, though.
I rock with you, bro, but we got to talk about the whole component.
Right.
We got to talk about the wheel. We got to talk about the.
Trump got every right to call the National Guard.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
He's a foreign from another nation. This is an invasion.
Remember, they called the National Guard on black kids going to integrating into white schools. Why would you call the National Guard for that?
They called the National Guard to escort them
to assist the black kids going into the school.
Yeah, Kennedy took the National Guard over to ensure the safety of the black kids.
That was a waste of money.
Okay, let me just
escorting black kids to schools.
You think they just gonna migrate? They're just gonna take and deport these people and leave everybody else alone? that they have vetted and determined they are U.S. citizens, whether through nationality or going through the process of gaining citizenship? Do you think that's what do we have a historical record of them leaving us alone?
No.
Okay, then. Okay.
And that's another point too, that in the Western world, and this is the Western world, Europe, United States, New Zealand, and Australia.
Indeed.
That is the Western world.
Indeed.
In the Western world, the only one of those countries that have had internal wars, really ongoing internal wars, has been the United States. And I'm not talking about the Civil War. I'm talking about the war on us.
Correct.
And we are literally at war with this country.
And have been.
And that would be take the form of pro riots and those kinds of things, and constantly, being attacked. The Red Summer, all of these different things that they do, and not only just physically, but also economically, that they have been attacking us as a people.
Yes.
And people love this country and want to be in this country. And it doesn't matter who's in office. It doesn't matter if it's Democrats or Republicans, none of that.
Bye, leave. Like, what kind of shit? Y'all weird. Y'all weird. Y'all weird.
Let me ask you something, Bovo.
Leave America. There's a long line to get in.
Bovo, why you show the flag on your hat? Why did you do that? No, why did you do that? Huh?
I'm an American.
What does that mean? You're an American.
What do you mean that I'm a real American? My people didn't.
Okay, what does that mean?
I'm not an immigrant. My people were here before.
So that means you're a part of
you ask me a question and you won't let me answer it, brother.
Go ahead.
We had to shed blood for this country. We fought for this country to change the law. Culture of this country. I believe in liberty and justice for all. America's creed. I'm a real American. I'm not here flying around no foreign flags or no shit like that. No, I'm a real American.
You think that flag is your flag because you're in America?
Yep.
Do they honor that when you wear that flag and people that look like you that wear that flag?
Yep. Yes.
No.
Yes,
you're a prisoner of war, brother.
I'm right now in another state.
You're a prisoner of war.
Last week.
You're a prisoner of war, brother.
Raw, how's it? How's he a prisoner? Hold on. What, Mike? Raw, how's he a prisoner of war?
Because real Americans don't march for rights. They have inherent rights based on those that are in the majority. That
Raw, he can't be a prisoner of war, and the people let me finish, Raw, and the people who march for rights can't be prisoners of war because they had the option to leave.
Leave what?
America.
Okay, so I've heard that before. So they had the option. Listen to what you're saying. They had the option to leave. Leave and go where?
Africa, South America, Europe, anywhere, Rob.
The last time that was tried was when Liberia, when former slaves and some of those that
Liberia is not the only place that Black Americans immigrated.
I agree with that.
So why are you bringing that?
Let me ask you this. In America,
Raw. Let's establish some Raw. Can you leave America? Yes or no?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So are you a prisoner of war?
We're talking about what is in America.
Are you a prisoner of war? Yes or no?
Yes. And America is an experiment. Those that control America even would tell you that America is an experiment. So
Rob, what you're doing now? What you're doing? You're moving the goalpost now. It went from prisoner of war to experiment. What is it?
It's all the titles and classifications that they classify and use to explain who is an American, who is not an American. Do you ever let me ask you this? Have you ever seen white people out there marching for civil rights or for constitutional rights?
Raw, you're moving the goalpost. Again, your argument is that America is like Black people are prisoners of war in America, and I said you can leave at any time.
Well, what does that mean? You can leave at any time. What does that mean?
Oh, Raw, I gotta pass the mic. You just being disingenuous now. Go ahead, Anthony. Let me pass to Anthony. Then after Anthony is T. Go ahead, Anthony.
Yo, what's good, y'all? How y'all doing?
Good.
Listen, the problem is a lot of these people, man, they don't know human history. or just history in general, man. This dude talking about America this and America that, man. Listen, man, you gotta get it where you at, man. You know what I'm saying? If you born and raised in America, if you black or whatever, just get it where you at, man. What you complaining about, man?
I don't
You know what
understand
I'm
what
saying?
that means. I don't
I'm
understand
trying
either what that means.
because you
I
out here,
understand what he means. Go ahead, Anthony. I don't agree with Anthony on everything, but I
he
clearly
out
understand
he,
what Anthony
he
means.
out
Go ahead.
you out here spitting this rhetoric talking about
That sounds like a come up mentality to me, but I don't know.
what you come
Well,
up.
Rob, what you supposed to do, Rob? I mean, what are you supposed to
I
do?
mean, basically, the dude don't know history, man. He probably not well
I
schooled or
don't know
whatever.
history.
I wouldn't
Listen,
say
I
that.
don't know
Dude
history.
probably know more
Nah,
history than all y'all on this panel.
let
Ben
me
knows.
finish.
I
Let
hope
me
Ben
finish.
knows.
I don't know history. I hope he's not.
Let
That's
me
one thing I
finish,
will
man.
say.
Let me finish, man. Cause I mean, listen, man. The white man. Listen, I understand you need a boogeyman. I
No,
know the
there's no
white
such
man.
evidence. There's no
Wait, let
such
me
evidence
finish.
of
Come
white
on,
man.
bro.
Yeah,
Why you
let him
always?
finish his
Why you?
cooning, bro. Let him finish his cooning.
All right, please let me. Listen, man. I know the white man is under your bed. I know the white man in your closet. I know he in your cupboards in the kitchen and all that, man. But come on, man. Seriously. I mean, black people have done great for themselves in this country and all over this globe, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. If you want to fight the white man, the best thing you can do is make yourself better. You know what I'm
We're
saying?
talking about the
Raise,
status
wait,
and
let
status in
me,
which the country is in today.
yo,
Address that.
That's the thing. That's the thing with black men, yo. Y'all ain't got no discipline, man. You
Well,
ain't
you
got no
can't tell me I don't
discipline,
got
man.
no discipline. I'm a
I just
16-year
came up on
army
here.
cruiser.
I
I'm
just
a
came
Let
up
the
on here. You won't
Coon in
even.
your heart run
I'm a
free. Go
16-year
ahead,
army
tell us
veteran.
what you really think, Coon.
But don't tell me I'm not disciplined.
You telling me what you mean? Go ahead and tell you what I'm thinking. What I'm telling you is, listen, man.
Yeah, you was about to let your
Listen.
rage, the internal rage, let it out.
All right, my
What do you really
internal
feel
rage
about
is
black
this,
men?
man. My internal rage is this, man. You know what I'm saying? I support Donald Trump 100%. You know what I'm saying? If you illegal, get your ass up out of here, man. I ain't got no problem with that. Black, white, red, yellow, brown, green, blue, purple, whatever color you is, man. You know what I'm saying? Get it where you at, man. I ain't got
No,
no
we was
problem.
talking about what you was about to say with the problem, the real problem with black men. Go ahead,
No,
let it
no,
out.
no. Listen. You listen. Figure out your own problem, man. Figure out your own problem,
No,
man.
no, no, no,
'Cause
no. Don't hold it in, bro. Let it out.
if as a grown man, you don't know how to make a way for yourself, I can't help you, man. I
Brother, can
can't
I ask
point
you a
you in
question? Are you
I
on the
can't.
East Coast? Are you on the East Coast?
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast.
Yeah, okay. I thought so.
Okay, where you at? You on the West Coast?
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay, why did you ask me that question?
Well, because I
Because
have
a lot of East Coasters be saying
relatives
a lot of funny stuff.
that live on the East Coast.
Okay, but what's the premise
Wait,
of
hold
you
on,
asking me that question?
let
I
me
don't
tell you
understand.
why. I'm trying to
Because a
tell
lot
you.
of the East Coasters be saying funny stuff.
I'm gonna tell
Funny
you
stuff
why.
like what?
I'm gonna
What you
tell you
mean
why
by
I
funny
said
stuff?
that. First of all, it's
So
because
what
you're
you want me to
East
do? What
Coast.
you want me to
Like
do?
how
Come up
you
here and
say
say
everything gonna be okay as long as you strive hard enough.
no. Listen. But
Brother, you
but
want to know why I asked you
isn't
that
isn't
But
question?
that's
isn't
what
that
you
the
were
law?
kind of saying, though,
Isn't that?
bro.
But isn't that the law of God? Isn't that the law of God?
So
Law
the
of who?
people in Tulsa, Oklahoma, wasn't doing good, wasn't
You said the
striving
law of who?
for the best. What
Bro,
happened to
how long
them?
you gonna hold on to that,
What
man?
happened to Rosewood? What happened to
How long you
Wilmington and
gonna hold?
Forest?
Wait,
What
hold
Are
on.
happened
you
to
gonna
Forever,
carry that burden for the
forever,
rest of your life?
forever,
Answer
and
these questions.
ever. You
Okay,
got a
It's
so
not
do
problem
about
with
That's
it?
the law of
do
recently.
what?
something.
It's a
You
whole
got
Do
a
bunch of
problem
shit
with
something.
it?
recently
Hold
that's
on forever and
Do
ever. Then I can say,
something
you know
about
what?
it. All
Ain't
right,
no way
all
you
right.
gonna let it go, bro.
What's
Anthony,
your
the
solution?
law
What's
of
your
what?
solution?
You
What
said
is your
is that
solution
the
to
law of
Rosewood?
what?
It ain't none of your business because you don't care. Worry about what
Anthony,
you care about.
Anthony,
Ain't
you
that
But
said
what
I'm
you
on
is
the
told
that the
panel.
us?
law of what?
I'm on the panel, so I can't talk. Donna's brought me up to talk, man.
I'm asking you a question. You said
Yeah, hold on,
is
yeah,
the law
guys,
of what?
let him finish so I can pass it to T. Go ahead,
No,
Anthony.
he
You got
said the
30
law of
seconds.
God. That's why I
Listen,
was
man. Listen. I understand Rosewood, Greenwood, Brownwood, Yellowwood, all that, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do something, man. Please stop crying about it, man. And I'll pass the mic.
All right, let me pass it
Yeah,
to
I
T.
gotta
Khalid.
get
Go
back
ahead,
up
T.
on that
Khalid.
Yeah,
Anthony.
man. I
Wow.
didn't quite hear all the panelists talk, but I did come in on the tail end. Dynasty, we were talking at one panelist talking about America's experiment with trapped in here. You see, a lot of these Negroes don't use logic
I
because
didn't say nothing about
if
trap.
America was such a bad place, why are black folks leaving the Caribbean and Africa to come here, or having businesses in America making millions of dollars and then bringing it back to their home? See,
That's
none of
capitalism.
that makes
That's
sense. Ain't
capitalism.
nobody trying to keep them here. They
That's
can leave
capitalism.
whenever they
You're
want to
talking
leave.
about the
Ain't
model
nobody
of
trying to keep
capitalism.
these Negroes here.
You're
They
talking
can
about the
leave
model of
whenever they want to
capitalism.
leave. America, everyone is flooding. You know what's interesting? All these, the white man is so racist, yet the people of color around the world, either Arab, Latino, and
You
black,
got a name
are
T.
flooding these
Khalid.
Western white
Khalid.
European nations.
Really?
Yet you don't see the
T.
reverse.
Khalid?
You don't see the reverse. They are
Why?
flooding these
Why
nations,
are the people
flooding
leaving
it,
their countries
and
though?
then coming over here,
Is that your
and then
problem?
coming over here complaining, and then getting on welfare. And,
Who's
and then
allowing
and
them to
then
do
and
that?
then
Hey,
the
That's
other
a
stop
thing
with
narrow
is,
that.
view.
They're
man,
bombing
That's
their
a
home
myopic
the
country.
other
view.
That's
thing
why
is,
they're
man, the
flooding
other
Why are they
thing
here.
is,
leaving their
man,
countries?
hold
We
on, I'm
have
still talking,
bombed
bro,
their
calm
home
down, boy,
country.
y'all are
That's
some
why they
beta
come
males.
here.
Hey, Don, is this a panel of Democrat voters? Because damn, boy, they emotional. Holy shit. That's why the white liberal controls y'all. Y'all are
No,
easily
dog.
led
You
by
expect
emotion.
somebody to sit
I'm
there.
not a
Man,
Hey,
Democrat.
y'all,
y'all are
let T
easily
finish.
led
Let T
by
finish. Go
emotions.
ahead,
Y'all
T.
like some
I'm not a
girls.
Democrat.
Damn.
Yeah,
I'm
we
Boy,
not a
don't
y'all
play
are,
Democrat.
that,
yo,
punk.
boy, you
Oh
sound like
man,
one
y'all
crying like it.
don't. Okay, listen.
Damn.
Every time you interrupt T, I'm gonna give him an extra minute. Go ahead, T.
Yeah. And then, this
Give them
LA
one
thing
more
has
extra minute because we're going to
absolutely
fight back,
nothing to
punk.
do with black people, bro.
All right,
This
bro.
has
Y'all hold it
nothing to
down.
do with
Peace.
black people.
I'm out.
ICE
We
is
don't
going
expect
in,
somebody who can talk about people when they
ICE is going in, ICE is going in, arresting illegal immigrant criminals who committed rape, murder, and all types of crimes. Why would the Negro silly ass be out there protesting for that criminal to be here? Why? It makes zero sense. Black people, and this is why I'm
and
telling you,
everybody on
Donis,
the
I
panel
promise you,
agrees with you.
Donis, I promise you, this
We
is
all agree
why,
with you on
in
that.
my opinion, I think the reason why white liberals keep talking about white supremacy to black people is not to quote unquote solve white supremacy. It's to get these Negroes to use their black skin to fight for these other groups like illegal immigration and LGBT while using their black skin as cover or
T,
their
there's
black history
nobody
as
on this
cover
panel that
to
agrees with
continue to fight for
immigration like
things
that, bro.
that
You
benefits
just keep
other people but doesn't do anything for the black collective. That's why they keep talking about white supremacy to them.
Everybody on this panel agrees with you. We don't agree with any of that immigration, but your hate for black people is so hard that you just want
I
to
don't
get
have
rid
no
of it.
hate for black people. That's why I'm not
So
siding
why
with
are
the
you
illegal
screaming
immigrants.
at us and
This
calling us
is
punk?
better because you're talking over me. So I gotta talk over you. I
So
don't have no hatred
when
for
you
black people.
expect,
In
okay, let me
fact,
just say
when
this.
Trump get all these
So if I
illegals out of
call you
here,
a punk, you're supposed
or
to
the
be
majority of
quiet?
them, that's good for black people. I don't see how that's a net negative for
So
for
why
a
did
black
you
man
come at
especially.
anybody on this panel when they said exactly what you saying?
Didn't I just said I came in on the part where the brother was talking about we are locked in this country, sounding silly? That's when I came in. I don't know what everyone said. I said that at the
My
very
bad. Well, you
beginning.
did the
So I
whole
don't know
thing.
what
You
you are
just went
talking
off
about.
on everybody.
And
We're not
and
regular
I'm
people.
responding to the topic that Dinah's
You
put up.
expect to be able to
Should
talk
black
shit about
folks care
people and
about
then
illegal
not
immigration?
talk back.
So yes, I am responding to that.
This ain't the same,
And from
bro.
the guy who said something about we are trapped here and this is an experiment. That
Oh,
sounded
okay. Be
stupid.
specific. Yeah, you got to be specific.
Okay, can I come in and say this real quick?
No, let me pass it to Minnie, then I'll pass it back to you, Shaw. Go ahead,
All right.
Minnie.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
I just think a lot of this discussion, you should just have to be an observer. Those things happening in LA and where you do have to monitor your rights. The fact that any of us believe that the Constitution protects any of us. Yeah, on paper, it's always been on paper. But we had to test it and fight for it and won many of the rights that other people come in and are trying to claim in here. I don't think that's our fight out there in LA. But again, we still have to observe because you don't want the government to overreach something that they can use legally against you at a later date.
Good
So
point.
I do believe that it was in the president's power to do that, because they did that during the riots and things. That they can do that. But again, you have to, government has to be limited. A lot of these people that, you know, they're waving the flags, we're Americans. No, if you're an American, then you limit government. You don't want government to overpower and have overreach, because government, that's what it was supposed to be, with checks and balances. And the fourth franchise is supposed to be the press, and that's out the window. So what I'm saying is, be an observer. I don't believe it's our fight out there, but we should be an observer and be very careful of the precedents that's set by what government is able to do. And don't think that piece of paper, that Constitution, is going to protect you, because the
Are you saying we are going to get deported as black people? I'm just curious.
Yeah. Hold on, guys. One mic. So, Minnie, what are you saying, Minnie?
I'm saying every right that was put on paper in that Constitution, we had to test and fight for.
Yes.
The Constitution was a lie. It's a living document. It has to be a living document.
Are black people next? Is that what you're saying? Are black people next?
No, TT, don't interrupt them. Minnie, Minnie, get to it. What are you saying, Minnie?
I don't think we would allow ourselves to be next. But I'm saying we have to be observers and watch. Don't think that piece of paper protects you. On paper,
So Jamaicans are not black.
Hold on, guys. What, Mike, Minnie? What are you saying, Minnie? What are you trying to say, man? Like,
I'm saying stand down, but be vigilant and watch what's going on.
Yes, because Mission Creep can happen.
Okay, so he said I can go next.
I feel like you're saying black people are next.
He said I could go next.
Go ahead.
So here's the thing, y'all. Limiting the government is what white folks who got money say. Republicans used to say that, right? That was when, you know, about saving money and getting tax breaks and all of these things. For us, the government has never been limited in our case, because when you look at where we were positioned, and then immigrants coming in here getting land, free land. What else? The financial institution being bailed out by the government, that's no limit. They should have crashed like everybody else. If this was supposed to be, you know, about limiting government help, the government has helped all these other people, helped the rich white men. And then meanwhile, look at our situation, right? And you should be concerned. I hear concern for people who may have voted for Trump or not. You should be concerned. Why should you be concerned? Because we know the history of this country. We know the history of these folks. And you know that if you're not saying that, you probably are, that they can overreach. These folks that are in power now are off the fucking hinges. We all know that. And that we need to be concerned in more ways than just this rioting that's going on with the National Guard and everything. There's other things that we need to be concerned about. But, you know, he's going to show you better than he can tell you. And this is what some of the Democrats, and I'm not a Democrat like that, really. I'm not even really a Democrat. But they knew the nature of him. But what they were offering was no better. It was just a disguise, a facade of, you know, some semblance of normalcy, what we're used to in this process, in this democratic system, in this political voting system, that as long as everything's looks good on the surface and everybody can participate and they got your black vote, then business as usual. But at the end of the day, y'all, we have no friends and we're in this on our own. And this is why we need to, I'm gonna land with this. We need to ally with other black people and be thinking about how we can work with black folks economically overseas while we're here until we start to leave and, you know, segue out. Those of us who will stay, but we can continue to do business with each other while we're over there working with different, you know, folks and companies and industries. We can be working together. But we're not like that, because we've been fractured. We've been divided through this propaganda bullshit about I'm this, I'm that, you this. We're delineating. All of that is a distraction, and I think it's some outside forces that are dividing us like that, because we're not using our logical mind.
Yeah, but we need to make clear that who cares about what's going on with these illegal immigrants? This has nothing to do with black people. It's not going to trickle down negatively towards black people.
Pass immigrant power. Go ahead, Chief.
Yeah, no. I think because I think there's this line that these guys are saying that this is going to somehow affect black people. But and to be honest, that is another white liberal lie that black people repeat. After them, we are next. They could have been trying to deport us. Like, what do you mean we are next? They could have been rounded us up and got us right up out of here. They didn't even have to free all the slaves after the Civil War. They could have put us right back on the ships and sent us right back to Africa. So I don't want to hear
Let's
this.
talk after this
Black
dude
people
speak.
need to be vigilant. This has nothing to do with us. I'm
Talk
telling you,
after T real
when
fast.
black
He's
people get
and I got the answer.
rolled up on by the police and stuff like that, you don't hear Latinos or other groups saying, well, we're next. They don't care. We are the only group. We want to cape for all these groups. I'll be like, look, who get no. Let other people hold their own nuts and learn how to mind your own business and only focus on your people. Illegal immigration has zero benefit for black people.
Read
All
the
right,
room.
he asked, can I answer?
No, I gotta pass
Americans ain't your people. Haitians ain't your people. Because it's not just Hispanic people getting deported. I don't know what the ignorance is.
Haitians don't come over here and all of a sudden are pro-black and benefit the entire collective. No, get them out of here too.
Can
I
I
think that
say
at the end
something,
of the
Dynasty?
day, my man, people are being blinded, and political parties are just dividing this country. You know what I mean? And that's what seems to be the problem right now. Everybody wants to be left, everybody wants to be right. And at the end of the day, when something happens in your community, it's not going to be a single politician helping your ass out. It's going to be your neighbor. It's going to be the people across the street. It's going to be the Mexican guy down the block. It's going to be the black brother across the street. It's going to be the old lady. It's not going to be a damn government to come help you out. Since when we depended, me as Latino, I never depended on the government. I never had food assistance. I never had any kind of fucking help from the government. Why? Because I've been taught to work since a kid. Working with my hands got me where I'm at. I own houses. I own my own company. I'm successful, and I don't need shit from the government. Why? Because I'm independent. And that's what you guys need to get. My man, you waving off over there. You got a jacket. Who you work for?
Okay, well, but before y'all get to that, can I just answer one question that T had? And succinctly. The reason why Ben, aka Rahul, is saying watch these issues, and Shy is saying watch this for mission creep, and so is many Stack is because I firmly believe that white people are not going to go along with no democracy or no republic when they don't have the demographic majority. So as this thing gets closer and closer to a not outright majority for white people, government is a tool. And we know about what happens when white supremacy is leaving, what they do to their tools. So what they are saying is watch the signs, because this is a lot of these people that you're screaming at are damn near 60 and 70 years old. So they've seen this all the way through. So what they're saying is that we are in times that are very much different, because the preservation of a demographic majority is the ultimate goal.
And General Dave, if I can interject, and I think that's good and bad. And the reason why I say that, literally, there's old black men who are in my community who for the last 8 years swear that Trump is going to put them back in chains. That's all they talk about. That's all they talk about. These white Republicans going to put us back in slavery. That's all they talk about. Not dealing with Pookie and Ray.
What really has changed, though? Let's just say what really has changed.
Don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. All they talk about is how the white Republicans are going to put them in chains. So it's like a plus and a minus. We're dealing with a lot of just overly paranoid, schizophrenic Negroes.
Well, I don't think that they're so.
What do you do with them? That's all they offer, man. Put us back in these chains. Okay, what else can you do for the community, man? Put us back in these chains. You know, it's just like, golly.
Okay, I got a real question. This is a question. I'm shutting up, Dinus. It's a yes or no question. Do you think white people are gonna go along with the Democratic Republic if they don't have the numerical demographic majority? Yes or no?
I don't. When you say what?
Do you think this America is going to exist as this democratic republic, if white people do not have the demographic majority as far as population, do you think they're gonna go along with the go along of democracy?
White folks
without having the
That is such a stupid question.
Don't interrupt me. Joe Day, let me tell you something. So when I received my Nigerian citizenship, right, and I pulled back up into Togo, and my friend, and now listen, I'm going somewhere with this. And my
yes or no?
No, but I don't think like you guys. I just don't get the question. And I'm telling you why. So that
white people gonna go along with democracy, which is based on numbers, without having the numbers of the
Let him answer.
White people don't slip under my pillow like they do y'all. Like I don't wake up thinking about white supremacy all day. Like it's just weird to me.
Okay, well I talk to them and they say they not gonna go along with it. They don't have the majority.
And when it's time to cross that bridge, you just cross that bridge. Like that shit's just weird.
Like people saying the bridge is ready to be crossed. Let's get prepared.
But Donnie,
we're at the bridge, though. We're at the bridge.
I don't vibrate like that. I just don't think about that.
So you don't.
Donnie,
That
it makes
doesn't
no
concern
logical
you,
sense
Dynasty.
because what General Dave is ignoring is that it's the white liberal who is opening the border. So his logic makes no sense because think about it. If it's truly in the white supremacist interest, right? First of all, white people control the media, not black people. So why is the white media attacking Trump? Why before the election, why is the media, the white big businesses, the white Hollywood, all the white celebrities attacking Trump? Why are they trying to jail Trump? Why are they trying to sue him if the main goal is to maintain white supremacy? Why won't they instead say, you know what? We agree with Trump. We need to get rid of these immigrants. And then why are these white judges sitting up here blocking Trump, fighting Trump every time over this illegal immigration system? See, these Negroes don't make no sense because if it was truly in the white interest, then why in the world will white people allow a border to be wide open and allow millions of illegals in and then give them due process, making it harder for Trump to deport them? This is done by white people. This is not done by blacks and immigrants.
You got 20 million immigrants and you can't deport a million. That's why.
We can't
those
hear
people crossing the border were supposed to get their white card and be white.
Exactly. Thank you, Minister. Thank you.
What's this white card?
They lied to
They
y'all.
sound silly. What is this white card? They letting 500,000 Haitians in. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about
They letting Arabs in this
They weren't letting in the Afro-Mexicans. Those weren't the
everybody talking. Can I just?
I'm saying I thought they thought the people are crossing that border.
Where's your proof of that? You have zero proof of that.
All right.
We have anecdotal evidence.
Can I just make a point?
We have a problem with them because they were racist.
Thank you for answering this question. Thank you for answering these questions.
Can I make a point? Can I make a point? Can I just make a statement? Listen, man. Listen, like Dinah said, man. He doesn't wake up thinking about white supremacy, man. So that's kind of confusing to me too, man. Because like I said, man, I don't know if y'all got the white boogeyman under y'all bed or whatever. But listen, man. All right, man. You give white men their props or whatever, white supremacy, this, that, and the third. Okay, but listen, man. You think, yeah. I don't know if y'all think. If this country was majority Hispanic, if you would have a better opportunity, man. But I don't know, man. But that sounds like being delusional to me. But this the point, man. This the point. This the point. The white man is not stopping you, man. If the white man was really stopping you, all right. So by you complaining, and if the white man is really your enemy. And if he's all out trying to stop you from living in this country, just take him to water. Take him to water. Go all out.
You're personifying.
That just started right now. That war started. Go ahead.
It's the system. It's not a person who say the white man. No, it's not a white man. It's a system set up by the people who constructed. If you really want to talk about, you talk about land ownership. what's
bro,
happening in
bro,
Africa,
bro,
land
bro,
ownership,
bro.
minimal rights, and things in that. What's
All
happening?
right, bro. This,
Well, hold,
this, this
let me complete my point, and I'll circle back to you. What's happening in the Sahel in Africa? The people say, we own this land. You're not going to take our resources off the land. We're going to take control and benefit of these resources off the land and empower ourselves. And they are doing this because that over here, we do not own the land. They have systematically taken land away from us. We own less farmland than we did in Africa. They have a system rigged to take land from you. So we can talk all we want to, but we are essentially labor here. You don't own the means of production, the land that you get it from, and you're in a system for doing it. We'll take eminent domain, we'll go over, we'll flood your land and everything like that. The Constitution was made for landowners and people having power. Those are the people supposed to have the votes. And land is still the thing. And this system is rigged where they do not allow us to get control of land here. We can build all types of power, but that's what.
And why didn't they legalize the people they stole the land from? Why didn't they give the people legalization of documentation when they came and bought Texas, when they bought California, when they bought all these other, they stole them. They never bought them. They stole them.
That's bullshit argument. That's a bullshit argument, man. This dude talking about stolen land, man.
Bullshit. I can come to your city and take over your city and I give you and leave you like an immigrant, but I bought your land, but you're still an immigrant on your own land.
Hold on. All right. Let me kill your point. All right, hold on. Let me kill this brother's point right here, man. You talking about the white man stole this land or whatever? How come y'all not fighting the Spanish for that land that they stole, man? Y'all speaking Spanish, ain't y'all?
We speaking Spanish because we got influences by these people that came from Europe in the boat, just like the Italians that came to New York.
Can I finish? All right. Listen, man. Everybody in Mexico speaks Spanish. You ain't coming over here speaking your indigenous language. You ain't an Aztec. You ain't a damn Mayan. You know
how do you know I don't speak that language? How do you know that I don't speak that language? Why you stay? How do you know that I'm not a Mayan native? How do you know my grandparents ain't come from the Mayan Aztecs?
Yo, you see how y'all disingenuous, man? Y'all want to fight the white British man, but y'all don't want to go back to Spain and fight the damn Spaniard for damn conquering your ass, you know what I'm saying, 200-300 years ago, man. You being disingenuous, man. Y'all don't know nothing about civilization. You don't know nothing about
continuous. The Spaniards not taking my grandmother. The Spaniards are not taking my grandmother. It's the white man doing it.
His point. He made a point about West Africa, right? He said that the Africans are not allowing them to just take their stuff anymore. Wait, let me land on this. Let me land on it. And so that example.
Give me 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds.
Bro, you finished. You finished.
Bro, shut. Just give me 30 seconds, bro. Give me 30 seconds, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, you want to go to West Africa, right? You want to talk about the Sahel, man. Yo, the European is not your problem in the Sahel, man. It's the damn jihadists, the damn Arab, man. Y'all ain't addressed that point up to now, man. And y'all keep y'all want to
28, 29, 30. All right, that was 30 seconds. So the point that's being made is that not only is Europe involved in historically taking up to today, taking resources for little or nothing, America is too. United States has been involved. There's corporations up the yank. It's 600 corporations in South Africa alone, and it's probably more than just that. Now, we're not even talking about all the other countries where these American corporations have been there, are there, taking advantage of these people's resources, which makes these people and they prop up these puppet Africans to facilitate their rape. And so this is what forces people to leave their country. Young people that want to have a future, want to have something, they have to leave their country to be able to survive, to go to America and Europe. This is why we got immigrants. Immigrants are coming here because the United States and the rest of the world.
If I can interject, that's not necessarily true, because me and my Senegalese friend was having this conversation actually on Saturday. So a number of Senegalese, I know some of them, they've came to America through Nicaragua. And so my Senegalese friend was like, Dinas, why are they leaving Senegal to come to America when in Senegal? And he told me the amount of money they were making. He's like, Dinas, they're making like $3,000 a month here in Senegal. That is great freaking money, but they're still leaving. So I I don't. And that those were his exact words.
But
We had
Dinus,
this conversation.
how
We
many
had
was making
we had this
We bombed
conversation.
Iraq, the Iraqis came in. We bombed Yugoslavia, they came in.
Oh,
There's a war in Ukraine, they came
I said
in.
Senegal, Dave.
Everywhere we go
I
and these
said,
people are
Dave, you're not
doing
going
war,
Dave, you're not gonna overtalk me, Dave. You're not gonna overtalk me.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
I said Senegal. Let me read these super chats. Austin GT, thank you for 999 holla. I'm done with black folks worldwide with this victim mentality BS. Yeah, I wonder why we can't advance. Stop living in the damn past. The highest earners are other people of color. Stop being scared of the white man. KJ, thank you for $1.99 holla. Welcome back, Dynasty. FBA Young Lion, thank you for the $1.99 holla. Bunch of victim mentality having ninjas.
How many people were making $3,000? I'm
He was
sure
saying,
not a
well,
lot.
we
Not a lot.
we didn't get into the numbers, but that's still a lot of money. But he was saying, like, yeah, they're coming.
Let me ask you.
That's good amount for that's a good amount for the United States, if depending on where you live. But the point is
back in the
that
third
how
world,
many
that's a lot of money, man.
in
Mhm.
Africa, that's a lot of money, and I'm sure that it wasn't a lot of people that was making that kind of money, leaving that money behind to come to the United States. I can't even see that, because when I'm in New York now and I see these young brothers riding around here on fucking bicycles and shit, making deliveries, they're making their money. But guess what though? They're opening up restaurants and all kind of shit in Harlem.
Good for them.
Right. So they're putting their money
That's what's
together,
up.
saving their money. And I'm saying to you and everybody that we got to do better, man. We got to do better. We got to be conscious about what's going on. We got to read the room. The brother said, and I agree with him, that these white folks are not.
Where these restaurants in Harlem at, yo? Where these restaurants in Harlem at, yo? I'm on 139.
116th Street.
I'm on 139th on Broadway, man. Where these restaurants in Harlem you talking
116th
about, man?
Street, 116th Street, where almost, not gonna say all, but a
bro,
lot of the Senegalese are on that street, and
bro,
Malians are on that street. So,
stop spreading
but
the
the point,
misinformation, brother.
no, I'm telling you, I go
Brother,
down that
stop
street
spreading.
all the time, and when I go down that street, brother, I'm going there to buy stuff at a grocery
Bro, they not,
store, and
bro, they
then
not.
when I go down there, every time I go there every 6 months or so, I see a new little restaurant pop open on the
Because
street.
they open
So
it.
go down
They open.
116th Street.
They
Now let me
open
finish
it.
and let me finish my point. The point is that we have to read the room and not look at things from a myopic point of view, just an Black American point of view. You got to open up your lens more and say, yeah, these white folks are not easily going to give up their power in politically. And this is why
I'm not reading it like that. Nah, I'm seeing a bunch of illegal immigrants that needs to get the hell
No,
up
we're not
out of
even
here.
talking about immigrants,
And I'm
though.
seeing no, we are, because that's the topic of the conversation. You're trying to change the topic because you have no argument.
In this
They're
case, I'm
trying
not
to
making a
change
point
the
about
topic because they have no argument to defend illegal immigrants. Because we are attacking illegal immigrants, and
You're
they're
not
trying to
attacking
dissuade
anything.
us from focusing on that and saying,
You're
look,
not attacking
look at the
anything.
white man. So then that way we can be supportive of the illegal immigrants. And it's not going to work here, bro. It's not going to work here, bro. You
We're
go
gonna need to
fight the white
remind you
man,
about
bro.
Nazi
Go
Germany. What
fight the white
happened
man.
with
Watch you get your ass
concentration
whooped.
One at a
camps?
Go.
time. One at a time. One at a
So
time.
let me
Come
land
on,
on
y'all.
this. You guys didn't let me land. I'm gonna remind you of this little history that happened in the 40s.
You got 30 seconds, y'all.
Okay, black folks were killed during the Holocaust in Nazi Germany. There were blacks in Germany. They weren't Jewish. The Japanese were put in concentration camps when their country attacked United States Pearl Harbor. The American citizens that were in the United States were put in concentration camps. I'm saying to you, if you think you're out of this picture, when stuff gets real funky, especially if Africa starts to liberate itself, you're in the picture. You're in one bag.
Yep.
So
we are out of this picture on this immigration.
That's what I'm saying, man. That even economical wise. Oh, my bad. Go right ahead. This brother been raising his hand.
God dang, man, stop talking over me. All right,
Let me
so
ask- can I ask
what
a
are you
question? Go
saying?
ahead.
Like, are you for illegal immigration?
Who, me?
Yeah. I don't get your point with that.
So my point is not so much about, for me, this is the thing for me with immigration. They allowed it to happen. We don't have the power to really we can influence the vote, but we didn't have the power. So the reason they let it in was for a purpose. The reason that they're keeping it out is for a purpose. What is the purpose for them letting it in? Nobody's hitting on what the purpose is.
Maintain the demographic
Bro,
majority.
you got the power, bro.
The purpose
Liberal
is
vote.
You
for
got the power.
corporations need
More
cheap
You have
labor.
the
congressmen
power.
for liberal votes.
Cheap
You have the
labor
Yeah, he
is
power.
is
why.
right. It is cheap labor. That is the
You
number one.
have the
Cheap labor
power.
is
You
Let's
why.
have
not
the
lie
power.
about that.
And
That
now
is the number one reason.
And now they
Bro,
don't
you
need
have
the
the
cheap
power,
labor,
yeah.
or he's playing political games, and they still need the cheap labor, but he's playing political games because we got enough cheap labor right now. They've let in millions and millions of people in the last
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah, let's get
Bro,
real. It
you
is.
voted for that. You voted for that at 92%. You've been voting for that since the
Facts.
60s, man.
Facts. And it's coming home to roost.
Talking about.
You've been voting for that since the 60s. What are you talking about,
No,
man?
dumb.
You
Listen,
got the
dummy.
power, man.
Who's talking? Anthony.
Why are we
Do you know
listening?
the percentage of black people that vote?
Why are we
It don't
listening to
matter.
the
It don't
puppet
matter.
show?
It does
percentage
matter.
the
You
percentage
blaming all
that
the
do
black people and only
Why
15%
are
of black people
yeah.
even vote.
Hold on,
You
hold
damn
on,
why
hold
right.
are
on.
we looking?
Hold
Why
on,
do we
hold on,
keep
hold
looking?
on, hold
Let
on,
me
hold
ask
on.
you a
No,
question.
no, hold on. You're blaming. This is what you don't understand.
So you don't
It's
want to take
you don't
take accountability. You don't want to take
No,
accountability for your people.
listen. Can you please be
All right,
quiet?
I'm gonna be
You
quiet.
are blaming all black people for voting a certain way when only 15% of black people even vote.
But the,
Period.
but
Whether
the
left or
majority,
right.
Don't matter when they
the
vote,
majority
they
of
all
black
vote
people who
Democrat.
Democrat.
What's
May
the
I ask you
percentage
a
of white?
question?
What's the percentage of white people that vote? What's the
Why are
percentage
we
of white people that vote?
obsessing
Oh,
on the
that's a good
Democratic
point.
and Republican
General Day,
puppet show?
hold on. What,
Hold on.
Mike?
Why,
Hold
let
on.
me ask you a question.
No, be quiet. General Day, what's the percentage of white people that vote? That's a
I
good
don't
point.
know. Look, hold
I'll
on.
Google it. I'm gonna Google it.
I'm only going with Google.
Because
Let me go ahead and
I'm not buying this 15%, only 15%.
I'm only going with Google. So I'm gonna do all this research. So here we go. While y'all can keep talking, I'll get all these stats
It could
for
be
you.
the truth.
This is crazy.
But the guy is making a silly argument. Who cares if 15? Who cares how many black people vote? The matter is when we vote, it's all Democrat. Period.
What did Donald Trump win? Donald Trump won the popular vote. What 70-something million? There's what 300 and something million people in this country, right? So that means the majority of people ain't vote, right? Come on, man.
Oh
Stop
no.
using this.
Okay, here it is. Oh, this
Yeah,
is
go ahead.
midterms. Okay,
Go ahead.
I got midterms. Midterms for 2022. My bad. It's double that. It's 45% for black, almost 60% for white, 40 for Asian.
Okay, so what the fuck are you complaining about,
Blaming
man?
everybody when half the population isn't voting, and this is what happens.
Who cares? When we vote, it's for Democrat policy. Who cares?
45%.
Good.
You just said
May I
45% of black
May I
people.
address this, please? May I address this, please?
No, I got to pass to Alan. Go ahead, Alan. Go ahead,
Okay.
Alan. No,
Yeah.
it's Alan's turn. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah. Basically, what I wanted to say was that, I was hearing people talk about Democratic policies being responsible for this. And while that might be true over the past maybe 10, 15 years, Republicans have been the ones, specifically Ronald Reagan, who made this whole immigration thing even possible. When he gave amnesty to over 3.5 million people in this country. So that's where the problem actually started from. That's just number one.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Nobody's defending these old.
Yo, let Alan finish. Go ahead, Alan.
Well, no, it started with Ronald Reagan, and a lot of Republicans don't seem to know that. This is a problem with both parties. We have two parties of people who pretend to be on the opposition, but they're both controlled opposition, and they kind of all set up with the same policies when it comes to immigration. And that is the greater issue. So sitting around arguing about, whether Republicans did it or whether the Democrats did it, fact of the matter, I can point to presidents on both sides and people on both sides who actually create this problem and made it what it is today. As far as this protest or whatever it is this is being called in LA, I think it's ridiculous. I think it's atrocious. And these people would have definitely been thrown in prison had they been black, walking around on the 110, making hot dogs and graffitiing and throwing bricks and throwing motor scooters over the overpass on top of cop cars. What they're doing is very dangerous. And that there was more control and more of a lot crackdown here in Baltimore with a little minor thing that we had here for the Freddie Gray incident than what they're receiving. They're not receiving anything, and so while at the same time they're receiving a degree of privilege and a benefit for being who they are, being allowed to go around and do this foolishness, they're still complaining about the country. They need to understand this is not helping their cause. They're actually causing more and more people to turn on them and want them out. And I'll just yield the mic at that point.
The problem with your argument, bro, is that
let me say something real quick. I'm gonna let you talk. Let me say something real quick, man. Let me say something real quick, man. Yo, black people in America are 99.9% to blame, man. Because y'all been putting these people on your back since the damn 70s and 60s, man. Talking about black. Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. All right, just give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute.
Don't interrupt.
Give me 1 minute, please. Black people have been putting Latinos on their back for the last 50 years. Black and
you're right, Anthony. You're right. Now these suckers turn around and stab you on your back. You know what I'm saying? They done priced you green. Anthony, you on your bumper. Anthony, you on your bumper.
Do it and just jam that gas like
you can't hear me. You can't hear me
now. Go ahead, Anthony. Go ahead, Anthony.
Listen, man. All I'm saying is, listen. I don't got no with Latino people, man. But you can't put these people on your back and expect them. You know what I'm saying? After you don't carry them across the finish line, they're gonna drag your ass across the finish line, man. They're gonna use you and abuse you.
Thank God. See, God doing his work.
You sound like somebody gonna go get a Puerto Rican pregnant or someone, John.
No. Anthony is correct.
But hey,
Anthony's actually correct about one thing.
The problem with Alan's argument is Alan is ignoring.
Wait. This dude done.
Anthony, I got to pass the mic, Anthony, because your phone.
I got to respond to Alan's lie real quick because I do agree with the Reagan, but we're not over here talking about how good Bush and Reagan was. No one is saying they see y'all like to deflect. I don't know why black people, especially the fake independents, like to always deflect off of Democrats. Right now, to this day, unless you are blind or being very disingenuous, you can see the Republican Party under Trump. I'm not saying all the Republicans is the first ever to try extremely hard to do something about illegal immigration. Look at the boarding crossings. To go for like what it was like 7,000 to 1,000. Now it's like under 100 a day. Okay. How can you look at that and be like, yeah, the Republicans are in it too? Look at what's happening in California.
I can explain.
And then you can see the liberal, you can see the Democrats like Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass and the Democrat Party fighting Trump. They're fighting Trump on him deporting people. You can see liberal judges stopping him. So to sit there and still blame the Republicans, the current Republican, I'm not talking about the past. Everyone agrees Bush and them.
But you're agreeing with me while saying I'm lying.
But the Republican Party now under Trump is fighting illegal immigration, and anyone who's saying they're not are lying to you to cover the Democrat Party. They're lying.
But when did I say that
cheap labor?
When did I say that was labor? Can I respond to that since I was dressed? When did I say you started off your statement agreeing with me, then said I was lying? I simply said. I qualified what I said. I said in the past 15 years, with the exception of the past maybe 15 years or so, which will cover the Trump era, I was saying that Republicans are the ones who initiated the issue. When they went up there and gave amnesty to 3.5 billion people, that's what caused what we consider today the modern immigration crisis.
And the Democrats are maintaining it. Yes or no? Are the Democrats maintaining it?
The Democrats are more than maintaining it.
So how is the Republican Party today maintaining it? You just said both.
Can I respond? Can I respond?
Both on the same team.
Explain how the Republicans are maintaining it today.
Because they refuse
They're not doing anything to maintain it today. You're right about that.
Right. That's right. So
they're not doing anything to maintain it. You're right about that.
Alan's responding. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah. So they're not doing anything to maintain it today. You're right about that. That's why I said. That's why I qualified what I said within the past 15 years or so. But I said all I was saying was prior to that, the Republicans were just as guilty because the Republican people, a lot of Republicans own businesses and they wanted the cheap labor too. That's all I was saying.
Well,
This
I
problem
agree
did
with
not
you on
come out
that.
of
Okay,
nowhere.
well, then I
It was
misheard you then. Well, then I
So
totally
the
agree with you on
question
that.
is,
All right,
who
cool.
needs cheap labor? That's the question. I was in DC in 2015, and I was shocked to no end that when I was in downtown DC trying to get a job, I was on a pavement living in PG County, right, commuting. Uh, all of Taco Bell, McDonald's, all black people, no Mexicans. Now, if anybody's in DC area, I'm gonna ask you that question now. Are the service industry still black in downtown DC?
I don't know about downtown DC. I could tell you
How
in
much is
Baltimore,
how much
it's a
how much
mix.
how much is the minimum wage in DC?
Hold
How
on,
much is the minimum
guys,
wage in
one
DC?
second, Vovo. Something's wrong with your mic, Vovo. You on your Obama phone, Vovo. Yeah, you don't sound. That's why I keep muting you. You're on your Obama phone. All right, go
How
ahead,
much
Alan.
is the
And
minimum wage in
the
DC?
point that I'm
How much is
making,
the minimum?
Well,
How much
Shaw,
is
you
the
gotta let him
min-
answer the question, Shaw. You gotta let him answer the question.
How much is
Go
the
ahead, Alan.
minimum wage in DC?
I don't know.
In
So the point,
Maryland,
but the
Maryland is
point,
Wait,
725.
the point that I'm
please,
making,
please,
let me make
please.
the point though.
Shot,
Why did
shot,
I bring it up
shot,
though?
shot,
You,
shot,
you're asking me
shot,
questions.
shot.
I
You
answered your question. Now
shot,
I'm going to make the
shot,
point that I was trying to make.
shot, shot. You black American to the core, shot. I hear you. I hear it in your voice. I feel it in your spirit, man. Yo, listen, let me tell you something. You know McDonald's jobs. McDonald's jobs was dedicated to the black youth, man. Or the white youth, man. Ain't no grown person over 25 was working at McDonald's, man. Those
In my
jobs was
community,
dedicated.
right? In my community where I'm from
Jesus
was 80%
Christ,
black.
man.
It used to be
Young
that we
people,
were
right?
working those jobs, but then as
Who's
the
we?
demographics,
Was it young people?
black
Was
people,
it young
young black
children
people. Can you let
that
me
was
make
that
the
was
point
trying to
really?
pay the way?
Right.
Okay,
So,
go
but you're
ahead.
talking and you're not letting me make the point because then you're asking questions that don't make sense, sort of don't make sense. The point I'm making is this is that the demographic changed and black people, right, who were doing these service jobs in California when I was younger was mostly us, almost all us. Then as the population grew, Mexican population grew, we stopped seeing us in those positions. And now it's all Mexicans, Mexicans working in the restaurants. They're all the restaurants, all the fast food. So my thing is that when I got to East Coast and I'm seeing that it was a surprise to me, but I've been told that that demographic is changing, that it is not all black anymore, that it is
No, it's
mixed or
not.
mostly Mexican.
Yeah,
So
it's a mix. It's a mixture. I'm in the
All right,
Baltimore area, and I go to PG a lot. It's a mixture. It's
but
almost
what
like
does
half and
that
half
say
now.
though about cheap service and Mexican
No,
people coming over here fulfilling the
it's
cheap
not,
service?
it's not cheap
Well,
Latin
service,
the cheap
man.
America ain't
It's
service.
not
Mexican,
cheap
man.
service.
Stop
It's
saying
not cheap
Mexican.
service. It's
First of
not
all,
cheap service.
in this area is
Hold
not
on,
in this
hold
area
on,
is not
hold
Mexican.
on, hold
It
on.
is usually El
See,
Salvadorian and Guatemalan. So
Guatemalan, Honduran,
see
Peruvian, Colombian,
Those are all
Venezuelan,
the same
yeah,
people.
Chilean.
what y'all brothers is doing is not putting things in context, man. It's not just cheap services, man. It's just okay. Listen, man. One okay, 50. Let's say we give the white man 50% of the blame, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the
Why
the
can't
point
you
of
give
the
them the
point.
blame
Hold
before
on, wait, hold on. Let me finish. Let me
give them
finish. Let me
87%?
all right, let's get them 87%. But
Thank you.
this is my
All right.
this is my
Appreciate
this is my claim. This is my claim, man. McDonald's jobs because I'm 49 years old, man. When I was coming up as a teenager, man, McDonald's jobs, you know what I'm saying, jobs in the supermarket, packing bags, you know what I'm saying, delivering groceries, those jobs was dedicated to young people, you know what I'm saying, trying to work their way through high school, trying to work their way to college, man. Those jobs are not for 35-year-olds and 40-year-olds supporting families, man. That's why they was on the minimum wage, man. That's why them jobs was like $7, $8, $9, $10 an hour. Cause you live with your parents,
Okay.
so you subsidize your income,
Okay.
man.
So what's your point?
My point is, man. My point is, you know what I'm saying? Those jobs was never dedicated to Mexicans. Mexicans came and flooded those jobs because one aspect, okay, the government was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna raise the minimum wage. So we gonna let these jobs be
Which
allowed to
government?
all
Let's
kinds.
be specific. Which
So, do
government?
you think the corporations cared whether it was Mexicans or blacks or anybody that fulfilled the
Bro,
job?
bro, bro,
They
bro,
wanted
bro.
somebody to
At the end of
fulfill
the
those
day, all right.
jobs.
Let me ask you a
Amen.
question. Let me ask you a question as a man to man. If you can't feed yourself and your family, man, who you gonna? At the end of the day,
I
when
missed that. You
when the
broke
clock
up.
God
at the
cut
end.
off your
All
signal
right.
because he knew this
What?
is a stupid question you finna
All
ask.
right. What I'm trying to say. At the end of the day, when the clock strikes midnight, and you can't feed yourself or your family, who you gonna blame? You gonna blame the white man? You gonna blame immigration, or you gonna
No,
have to
I'm
look
gonna
at
lie.
yourself in the mirror?
Okay,
Or
that
you gonna
that's
have
the
to
Work
look at
point.
harder. You
yourself.
gonna
What
work
does that
You're gonna
have
harder
have
to
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 get
do
look.
more
with what we're
money.
talking about, though? Because that missed your
All right, man.
point
All right.
when I
All
asked
right.
you
All
your
right.
point.
All right.
He
Okay.
All
said
I'm
be a
saying
man and
is
take
that
accountability and stop
all
blaming
I'm
others for your
saying
Exactly.
is
problems.
that
That's all I'm trying to say,
labor
man.
coming into the United States is cheap. They can pay them less because we were
Listen,
trying to ask for
there's
more.
only
So when
there's
they
only
come in,
three.
well, you're
There's only
talking and I'm
three.
talking. They can't hear you
There's
and me at the
only
same
three.
time,
There's
right?
only
So
three.
I'm making a point,
Everybody was
right? But
quiet
I'm
when you
talking. I'm
There's
talking,
only
sir,
three
and you're
people.
talking over me.
There's
I
only
was just
three
trying to say
people.
something.
There's
I'm trying to
only
make a
three
point
people.
again.
I'm
Sir,
about to land.
sir,
I'm about to
sir.
land. I'm about to
No, you're
land,
not
family.
landing because I'm talking
Man,
right
land
now.
that shitty Cessna.
Right. When you talk, you talk. I don't say shit. And if you
Now
allow me to come in,
I'm landing the Boeing
right.
747. Can
If
I
you
just
allow
land,
me
bro?
to interject, then I will interject. I'm not allowing you to interject. Okay. So let me
But
make the little
I didn't
quick
even
point.
finish though, man. I didn't even
I'm gonna hit it and quit it. Okay. Here's the point I'm making is that they allow the cheap labor to come in, to fulfill the service industry jobs and also the construction jobs, labor jobs, all of the stuff that we used to do as a people. They
Farming.
have right. So now that's a question. Well, why are they kicking us to the curb? What's happening? Why are we not fulfilling those jobs anymore? What happened to our people doing those jobs? That's a question that would be a good question to ask, and many of you know
okay.
the answer.
Let me ask you a rhetorical question. Did
Man,
we
can we
quit those? Did
one
we
minute?
quit those service jobs, or we fired?
That's a good question. I think that we didn't want to do it for cheaper. That's for sure. We were at a certain rate of payment, and if they kept the payment at the same rate, sometimes it was better to work off the books, to hustle and get entitlements, get SNAP benefits and that shit, and hustle on the side, sell weed,
Okay,
sell dope. Would
all
be
right,
better
Society
than
is built
all
off
right, but
immigrant jobs.
hold on, because I'm gonna prove his point. I'm gonna prove his point wrong real
Is
quick,
this the
man.
last thing you're
Because
trying to?
a lot of those service jobs was unionized, man.
Yes.
A lot of those service jobs.
was
Listen, let me tell you something. My stepmother used to work for Macy's on 34th Street, Herald Square,
Yeah,
man.
Mason.
was when they
That was
bust the unions
that was
though.
a union job,
But
man.
they busted the unions.
They couldn't just fire her, man.
Yeah, but
And
that's
right
over
now,
with, bro. That been over with since the 70s.
Yeah.
so I
They
asked you a
they busted
question.
the unions.
Did we quit? Did we quit? They busted up the unions, man.
They
Bro, you
broke the
in New
unions. That's what happened.
bro,
You don't know the history
you
about unions?
you in New York, man. You talking about they busted up the unions. What are you
Countrywide, bro.
talking
You don't
about,
know the
man?
history of unions. They still
Yo,
got some unions, but they wouldn't
you was
even
in a
allow black people into those unions too. It
bro,
was
you
only
don't
a
Italians
yo,
few
run them
unions.
joints.
It was
you
only a
don't want
few
to take
unions
no
that we
you
were
don't want to
able to
take
get
no
into. They would keep us out of the unions, and then at some point, I think Reagan was the one who busted a bunch of the unions and shit. Where we only have a few now, very few.
all right, so your solution is you want
Not true.
45 million
Not true.
you want 45 million black people just to settle back in Africa. That's your solution, right?
No, that's not my solution.
No, he said go global,
No,
dog.
what I'm saying is that if we
So
if
going global means
so
taking
no,
control of the
listen.
going
If we're
global.
disciplined and organized, we can put $15 a month. That's a
For
Netflix
a
bill.
global fund, yeah.
Wait, listen.
Reagan ain't the
15
problem for everything.
$15 a month for 50 million people
Yeah.
into a fund,
Yeah.
right? At the end of the year, we'll have $9 billion US
Whatever
dollars.
it is, let's
So
go.
now with
Bro,
nine billion
the
dollars,
first
we
thing
can
you
set
gotta
up
do,
some with nine
the
billion
first
dollars, we
thing you
can set
gotta
up some
do.
You
industries
shut up, man.
here.
Let the man talk.
At $9 billion, we can start to set up or do whatever we want to do with it, but set up some industries, major industries, where we could
You
start
absolutely
making our
right, bro.
own cars. We can
You
start doing business with
woo,
African
you
countries and
absolutely
doing
right.
stuff.
You
That's
absolutely
only
right, man.
1 year.
You absolutely
Yes,
right,
I'm
man.
with you on
But
that.
But
we're
the
not
first
doing
thing,
that because I don't
the
trust
fir-
you Who's
The
gonna keep
first
the
thing,
money? Blah
the
blah
first
blah.
thing, the first
Right.
thing you gotta do, the first thing you gotta do is get your people off of crack. That's the first thing you gotta do. The
All right,
second
man.
thing you
Can you
gotta
just be
do, the
quiet, dog?
second thing, the second thing you
Dog.
gotta do is
What are you
stop your
talking about?
children.
There's a fencing
The
metaphor
second
that
thing you
Donald
gotta
J.
do,
Trump has just
the
declared a
second
national
thing,
emergency
the
over here talking
second
about
thing you
crack.
gotta do. Notice when I talk about accountability, these brothers
No,
want
you're
to scream
talking
over
about
me. The
no,
second thing you gotta do
you're
is stop your
cooning. You're
children
cooning,
and
bro.
stop your children
When you
from
say the
killing each
first
other,
thing people
man.
gotta do is get off
Those
crack,
two
we know
things you
you
gotta get
cooning.
accomplished first,
And
man.
you want somebody to talk to
Homicide is
But
you
down in
as serious.
Baltimore. I don't know
but
what you're talking
we
about.
all have
You gotta stop
Netflix.
your women
You
from sleeping
goofy.
Right.
around
But
too.
do we all have Netflix now?
Hold on,
Everybody.
I got to pass it to C Mac. C Mac, go ahead, C Mac. Let me just.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, first off, what he was just saying about crack, that's not true. The first thing we need to do is need to get trades back inside the schools. There's no need to try to teach somebody or get businesses in trades or in cars and mechanics if our kids don't know how to work on the vehicles. So the first thing you need to do is get trade and voc tech back in schools. Second thing is the guy was saying that it was all from Reagan. How can you go to Reagan and skip over Clinton, who brought over 12 million migrants into the country, and Obama brought over 9 million. Third thing, he said it's mixed as far as working these service jobs. That's not true. If you look at, I'm in Baltimore too. I can name them. You go on at the McDonald's on Northern Parkway. Earlier this year, it was blacks. Now it's Mexicans. You go to the Popeyes in Emerson Village, it was blacks. Now it's all Mexicans. And the reason why is because the same reason y'all were saying earlier, cheap labor.
Yes.
That's what it is. It's cheap
Man,
labor.
I have a
They're
question.
not going to do the jobs. We're not going to do the jobs for the same wage. And the reason they can take a cheaper wage is because they're living 10 to 12 people inside of a household.
So now,
Can I ask you a
if we
question?
were to take a survey of the owners of these
Hold on,
businesses, would they be Republicans or
Shy. Can I
Democrats?
just ask him one question real quick? Because
yes, sir.
And only because you from Baltimore, and I'm tired of everybody using Baltimore. Can you tell me what year was the zenith of Baltimore? Because they keep acting like somehow Baltimore has fell from this great pinnacle in the sky. So I always ask, what year is the baseline for the best year of Baltimore ever existing? So I got something to compare it to.
Baltimore
was great in the 50s and 60s.
No, it's even later than that. You can say it was probably like the last, probably like the mid 90s was the best time in Baltimore.
Okay,
and I can even tell you when everything changed.
That
Everything
was the
changed through the
pinnacle.
Let me finish.
I don't know about the pinnacle.
Let me finish. The reason the things change is because of the NAFTA bill. When the blue collar jobs started leaving Baltimore City, there was nothing never brought back in to fill the void. And that's the whole catch. If you're going to take jobs out of a city or out of a country, you have to fill the void. And and the void was filled with drugs, guns, and that's how you and like I said right now, there's no trades. There's no trades, no nothing. And granted, even what's going on in the city now is that these migrants who are legal, they're able to get minority contracts from the city. So when they get a minority contract from the city, now they're able to hire illegals to do the jobs. And they can also bid lower than a regular contractor would for that job because they have illegals working for them and not actual citizens.
So the question is illegal immigration a net positive or a net negative for black people?
It's a complete 100% negative.
Yeah.
So why are black folks on the panel just fighting for it? That's the weird
Because
thing.
Democrats made it
I can tell you why. I can tell you why. I can tell you why. Because people are only worried about what happens in their front door. They're only worried about what they see in front of them. They're not worried about the person down the street, the person up the street. That's the problem.
Well, I have a slightly different answer than that.
The issue is that we've allowed Democrats to make it a civil rights issue and to use black people as a Trojan horse in which to push those issues in. We're always used as a Trojan horse to push other people's issues in while we end up with nothing and they get in and get something out of things. So that's the reason why.
But the problem with that too is that we continue to vote for the same people. We continue to vote for the same people. I'm gonna tell you this, like for instance, when Robert Early became governor of Maryland, he came to the black leaders in Baltimore City and asked them what did they want. They told him that they wanted money to come into the HBC schools. That's why right now Coppin State University has been remodeled. Morgan State has a new football field. And then right after he did all that, when he went for re-election, those same black leaders went and pushed for O'Malley.
Because O'Malley was in with the Democratic establishment, had Bill Clinton come down here and campaign for him. And that's basically what happened. But yeah, same thing happened with Hogan. Hogan was a net positive, quite frankly, as a governor.
Correct.
But most of us would not vote for him simply because he's a Republican. He got the 2 terms, and now we have a black guy in there who's not only against reparations for people, but he was handed a surplus by Hogan, and now now Maryland's in deficit.
Correct, and he gave more than 300. He gave more than he added extra 300 taxes and fines to the state.
Policies. I have
I'm sorry.
Why do black people say? Why is it? Mathematically, how can black people at 13% full population and only half of us voting? How do we have the power to control any election? Anything.
Let me tell you.
We're in Baltimore.
Our current mayor only got in by less than 15% of the vote. If more black people would have came out and voted for Sheila Dixon, she would have won. But the reason that we didn't come out and vote, that's the reason why he got back in.
Vote that you're talking about.
I'm sorry?
Actually put the person in office?
I wonder what black people are accountable for with General Dave.
Nothing. Just
I didn't hear his question.
Hey, hold on. One mic. Just existing. Like General Dave. It's just golly. Just existing. T. We're just accountable for existing. That's all. Let me pass it to Abba. Go ahead. Let me read these super chats and I'll pass it to Abba. FBI Young Line, thank you for the 499 holla. Proud to be American and even prouder of my president. Get these illegal immigrants out the paint. FBI Young Line, thank you for $1.99 holla. JC Inc., thank you for $1.99 holla. 45 million black people minus the babies in jail. Go ahead, Albus.
Yeah, hi Dennis. Hi guys. I can see all the black community. They just blame other community or they blame the migrants. You know, the black community actually they don't control the economy. You know, like the Chinese or like the Indians. You know, the Chinese they circle the money like the seven time, and then they can go outside the community. You know, Indians actually they control the economy like, you know, they control the money like 10 times, and then they can go outside the community. You know, when it comes like the black people actually, you know, they started blaming each other, they blaming the migrant. You can see, you know, the black people in America in 40 or 30. They got like the black wall. They don't care about the migrants. They don't care about the cheap label or something like that. You know, Chinese. You go France. Yeah, you can see Chinese. They got like the black town, Chinese town, and you go Marseille. You can see the Chinese town. You go London. You can see the Chinese town. You go Manchester. You got the Chinese town. You know. Now the black people actually just the argument.
Come to Chicago. You won't have to see no white person ever.
Yeah, you know.
You come to Baltimore, same thing. Baltimore, we have black mayors, black governors, black county executives.
Obama dropped $1 billion in the black neighborhood building the library. Made a lot of millionaires black.
Man, did they even
Dennis,
finish?
you go.
Is the library even finished?
Nah, not yet.
You know,
So, but from what Albert, I'm passing back to you. From what I heard, like he can't, like the issue with the library is he's trying to follow all these minority rules as far as getting vendors, minority contracts or rules, and shit's just not working out.
It is working out. It just went from 600 million to $1 billion. And I personally know a lot of people who have pretty much tripled their property value. Dropped in historically right. We wanted it dead center in the black neighborhood, but it's sitting right on the edge, surrounded everywhere because he chose University of Chicago.
No, I understand that, but again, I heard it's like on hold because there's just too many issues.
Nothing on hold, bro.
It's not done yet. Yeah. How long have they been working on it?
Ever since he got out, and
that's
1 year when he got out.
I mean, damn.
You
take that long to build it?
Okay, all you got to do is have you Googled it?
I have. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Are you looking at did you click on images?
I have.
What do you see? You don't see these huge multi-story everythings?
I see it, but what's taking so long to finish it?
Because it's huge, bro. $1 billion. It's huge.
But it should not take that long to build this structure. That's what I'm saying.
I'm sorry. It's not, the $1 billion ain't being spent fast enough. My bad.
Hey, let me say this.
It's still Albert. Go ahead, Albert.
Yeah,
hold on.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
Dennis, Dennis, you go, you travel a lot to Africa. Yeah, you can see, Chinese, they're digging the oil, and the black people just in silent. You can see Indians digging diamonds, Belgium digging the coal. All you can see the black people, they're just watching. Yeah, and then we're blaming the other people. If the black people didn't, stand together, or all the sit downs, and then they're talking about the economy, how to control the economy, because the only things actually they make you strong. And nowadays, it's just the economy. You have to have your own bank. You have to have your own school. You have to have your own hospital. You have to own all these things. So start blaming. If the America actually he just want to control the migrant, they can't control the migrants. Yeah, they just don't let them. Yeah, for purpose. I think
sir, the reason that the black community complains about other ethnicities is because other ethnicities come into our community and open businesses up, and then when they leave for the day, they take their earnings and put it into a bank that is not in the black community. They do not contribute back to the community. They can take from the community, but they do not contribute back. If you even look into, say, you go into a Chinese store, if you see a black person in there working, they're sweeping. They're stocking. They won't put them. They want them put it behind the register. That's the issue. Look, I'm gonna even say this. When I was in the Carpenters Union, when we would go around and picket jobs, the reason we picketed jobs was because there was carpenters from out of the state of Maryland that were coming into the state and working the jobs. And the reason we had a problem with it was because when they got paid, that money left out of Maryland and went back with them to whatever state they went to. So when you hire people inside the community, the money was able to recycle itself. It's not able to recycle itself if it's leaving out the state.
C-Mac, can I ask you a pertinent question just for Baltimore?
This is moronic, yo. Y'all be moronic.
Do you all have Walmart?
Do we have Walmart?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could think of two.
Like Walmart, Target, the big Fortune 500 companies. My question is, I hear this a lot about all these stores.
I can answer your question. I can answer your question. What you about to say right now? I can answer. I can answer it. I can answer it. I can answer it. I can answer it. Because here's the thing: the local corner store, the side stores, is more accessible for the community than the Walmart. The Walmart is probably 5 to 6 miles away. is not accessible for the majority of people in the community. What is more accessible and is that is in walking distance is the Chinese Indian store.
Well, not just that. In Baltimore, there's probably not a single Walmart
Supermarket.
within the city limits.
Can I just flush this out
anymore?
Can I flush this out real quick? Because this myth that they're making all this money, it has to be done away with, because I know these people. What's happening is,
I know one too.
Hold on, and I'm gonna give you the mic. This should be evident by now. The main reason for all of that is because H-1B, you have to have a sponsor for employer. So you need some place to work in order to keep bringing your homies over. I've talked to these people because I'm sitting here wondering, how are you surviving off of cigarettes and blunts? They're not making this money you're talking about.
Bro, they're not selling just cigarettes and buds. Inside these convenience stores, like I just said, majority of our community. Bro, I let you speak. Can I rebuttal?
And I know it's not.
Can I rebuttal?
The main job of those stores is to have a place to log in hours so that you can sponsor for H-1B. It is not a major profit center, bro.
So I got a question. I got a question for both of y'all.
Let me rebuttal to that first.
Okay.
Again, majority. If you even look, Baltimore City is a food desert.
Yep.
But a lot of the spots is a food desert. So the only places that they're able, they don't just sell cigarettes. They're convenience stores that sell food inside of them. Daily food, bread. You can buy meats inside there. You can buy canned goods inside there. And like I said, majority of our community are not accessible. And they're not accessible. Let me land my plane. They're not accessible to a major supermarket. So the only place that they're able to go to is these corner stores. And that's why.
Can I hop on that?
Wait a minute. So here's the thing, though. That nobody's gonna totally shop everything at a little corner store. They're gonna get a ride. They're gonna get a ride to the big grocery store and go.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
But the point that I'm making, the bigger point that I'm making is, why do you have the most economically advanced community, Bowie, Clinton, all these places in Maryland, and this is what people brag about. We're doing good as a people. We have the highest income of whatever PG County and then right next to it, you have total poverty, abject poverty, and squalor. Black folks living. So you got the richest black community in the world, probably in the world, and right next to it is one of the poorest.
Can I answer that? First of all, what he was saying was 100% correct about the food deserts. I know it's a food desert because black folks aren't stupid. What they do, many of them will do is I did many deliveries for DoorDash over in Cherry Hill and all these places where they can't get any food access. And so what they do is they'll call somebody to go ahead do DoorDash. They don't tip very well, but they call somebody. They call somebody to come over and drop off groceries. I've done entire grocery runs for them. I've done all this stuff before. So those type of things do happen. If you're in Baltimore City, if you this place has been economically drained
all over the country, bro.
Hold on. Let me finish,
man.
Yeah, this city has been economically drained, and I've realized that since I moved here in 2005. This place has been completely economically drained, where there's the lack of resources. If you don't live near Mondawmin, if you don't live near a couple other places where they have a Southwest Shopping Center, a couple other places in Baltimore, you don't have access to food. There's zero access to food. As a matter of fact, in Baltimore, you still have since the 1800s, you still have the fruit man with the cart and the donkey riding around the city, dropping off groceries and fruits and vegetables and getting it into food deserts
all over the country. This is where black people live. This is the same kind of repeated thing that we have all over the country. Where we have food deserts. We have food deserts. We have economically starved areas in black communities all over the country.
Everything from a damn food store.
for the brothers in Baltimore, can I ask y'all a question, man? What do you mean by a lack of resources?
That means
This is what I mean. This
if
is
you
what
do
I
not
mean.
have food. Oh, go ahead.
I'll say it like this. There's a street, and I'm sure my man going to vouch for me on this. There's a street that's called North Avenue. North
Yep.
Avenue runs from West Baltimore, from the beginning of West Baltimore, all the way down to East Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
You can't find one supermarket on that street, but you can find thousands. There's probably within the hundreds of carryouts and liquor stores on the street. So if you have a person that lives within that vicinity of that street, and they're like, "Oh, I want to go to Walmart," they have to catch maybe 2 to 3 buses to get to Walmart.
Yeah,
Where
East Oakland.
hold on, where they're gonna be like, okay, instead of me doing that, I can just walk to this local convenience store or this carryout and I can still get food. So
I
it's
would willing to bet I'll be surprised.
Can I ask you another question? Can I ask you a follow-up question?
You're not making enough selling potato chips.
No, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn, man. I'm trying to learn. What is stopping the black men in Baltimore from organizing? Because I know Baltimore is like maybe about 300 miles from Georgia. What is stopping the black men from Baltimore from going to Georgia or South Carolina and connecting with the farmers, the black farmers down there, and bringing up the food source back to Baltimore? What is stopping
You
that?
need a storefront. You need a physical place.
That's right.
You need a physical place to house the fruit and
let
other
me tell you.
things. And you
Let me tell
also
you another
need black
thing.
people to work to hold on. Let me say this. You also need black people to work together to get the building, right? It's one thing to go in. Hold on. It's one thing to go down and make negotiations to get work with black farmers. That's one thing. It can be done easily by somebody who's a go-getter and who understands that. But it's another thing to get black people to work together, and so that we can have a chain of grocery stores throughout Maryland. We can have a chain of black-owned grocery store, one big black-owned grocery store. And you know what? Here's the other thing. You got millionaires in Bowie and Upper Marlboro and Clinton. You got millionaires with all this money, but they can't come together. They can't put their money together to start a black-owned franchise, black-owned big supermarket.
At the end of the day, it's black man's responsibility to feed the black man and his family. So the problem is us, man. So you going back? So we going back into the circle of argument, man. You know what I'm saying? We started up at one point and we ended up back in the same point.
We're part of the problem.
You can't.
The problem is you and not being able to add. And not being able to realize that you are not making a profit after mortgage, taxes, insurance off of selling blunt cigarettes, candy, and all of that.
I wasn't talking about. I never advocated for the. I never advocated for the.
bro.
I never advocated for the black man. I never advocated for the black man to go down south and buy blunts. I never advocated for the black man. I never advocated.
Why does talk, please? Can one of y'all talk?
Ed is pissing me off so much.
Yeah, but you got to control your emotions, brother. I never advocated for black men to go down south and buy blunts and cigarettes and come back to Baltimore and sell it to the people. I said what is stopping the black man?
One mic. So Day, what's stopping black people from building? After we get through the woe is me and the food deserts, what's stopping black people from building their own grocery stores in this stretch of Baltimore?
Economies of scale, because unless you're gonna be able to convince, I hate bringing women into this, unless you're able to convince the black woman to spend 10 to 15% more to buy black for 5 years, until we get the economies of scale to build up a customer base to be able to have the volume to actually beat prices, you're not gonna do it. Everybody's gonna go to Walmart.
Dave, I disagree because I see black folks all up in Whole Foods and Publix. That shit is it's expensive.
But it's a different issue though.
Why that talks about
what
all the white corner stores then? They stupid? Or did they, or
No,
within the same case that I'm telling
It's a
you
mentality,
happened?
y'all. It's why
no.
the black millionaires won't come together and put money together to build to put up a large supermarket that would cover the whole fucking state of Maryland. And Maryland ain't that big. You could have black people come together, put their money together, and have a big major supermarket stores where we own the shit, and it would be in Baltimore,
Yes.
Maryland.
And you're gonna
We
have
do.
to convince the
We
black
already
people to
have
I
pay
it.
agree,
We
15%
already,
more for 5 years.
I
we
And
agree.
that's
already
the
have
And it
problem.
would be affordable.
it.
We could make it affordable because we could work with the
We
black farmers and we could help subsidize. We could make the shit happen if we wanted to.
we we already have it. Like for instance, there's a
I
supermarket
agree with
chain
you.
already in Baltimore called the Shoppers. Shoppers.
Wait a minute, I thought you said it was just food desert. Which one is it?
Right.
It is Baltimore is a food desert. The issue is that it depends on where you live in the city. I could name off the top of my head just a handful of grocery stores that are in the city limits. That's what we're kind of trying to say.
Right. And everybody goes.
It's right. No, and not everybody's close to them. And if you live in the worst areas of Baltimore, if you live in Cherry Hill, you're not near anything. You're near the Patapsco Flea Market. That's it.
Okay.
That's what that,
Correct.
All right,
We got a
let me
point.
pass the mic to Robert. Go ahead, Robert.
yeah.
Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I was watching this documentary and basically a lot of the small grocery stores are being priced out by the big conglomerates, so it's not really that easy as everyone thinks it is. You know, Walmart and these big brands have a lot of bargaining power whenever it comes to the pricing of the products. You have
Thanks.
these little independent grocery stores, they're going to have a way higher markup because the wholesalers can they don't have any bargaining power with
Volume,
the
economies of
wholesalers.
scale.
Yeah,
So then that
basically.
means that $9 billion that we put together from a year's worth of everybody putting in $15, we're going to buy land with that, and we're going to put black farmers on the land, or we're going to subsidize the black farmers so that they could sell it cheap enough for us to get it cheaper than Walmart or as cheap as Walmart. That's what we got to do.
But
That's what
before
we
we
got
do
to
that,
do.
can we say that every other race is stupid because they can't beat Walmart instead of saying black people stupid because they can't beat Walmart? Can we just say everybody's
Who
stupid?
said that we were stupid in this panel? Who said we were stupid?
It sounds like everybody's saying we stupid because we can't put our money together and beat Walmart. And
No.
that's why we can't have all these stores. And I'm saying that this battle was fought back in the 80s and 90s based off of volume and economies of scale. What Robert was saying is to put everybody's little mom and pops out of business.
Yeah, but we're not stupid and we're
Hey,
not
can
victims per se. We
Okay,
recognize we're in the war.
thank
well, here's a catch. Here's a catch too. In Baltimore, what we're actually in war with is actually black politicians, because these black politicians are getting senators and they're getting money from other ethnicities in order for the other ethnicities to be able to build franchises and to have certain things that we're not able to have in our own communities.
Does that
And
stop
for
you from
instance,
putting $15 together
I'm
a
sorry.
month?
Hold on. First of all, it's not that easy to put $15 together, and secondly, he's correct. If you live here in Baltimore, Baltimore is like Swiss cheese, man. You got a nice neighborhood right next to a bad neighborhood around here, and they have little white enclaves, and usually they have like their own like Harris Teeter sitting in there in the middle of it.
Correct.
And it's not accessible to other people and other ethnicities, particularly some of our Jewish brethren over there by Reisterstown. And so
It's easy to put $15 together. It's hard to get the mindset of the people to put $15 together. But everybody can afford $15, and if they can't afford $15, then we'll do, instead of 9 billion, we'll do half of that, 4.5 billion, with everybody putting in half of $7 a month. We can do. It's the mindset of the people is the problem in anywhere that we are. If we were all on the same page,
I'm on that
then
page.
we could do that
You
as a
gotta
people.
remember, I'm the one that used to always come in saying what you saying right now. I started saying that.
Well. The only thing I want to say
what's
is
the rate of return? What's the rate of return for the loan?
The only thing I want to say is that black people
I would say like maybe 3.5.
are in this city particularly since I moved here, they are creating ways and have had ways and means to get people food. Like I said, man, they still to this day, since the 1800s, have a brother, always a brother, with a donkey cart, a wooden cart filled with fruits and vegetables, riding around with a donkey or horse, riding around to the different neighborhoods and selling food out the back of the
Right,
cart.
right.
It's like
What's the
it's like a
population of black
mobile.
people in Baltimore? What's the numbers of black people in Baltimore? I'm gonna get my calculator out. What's the number?
There might be 600,000 people in the city limits, right? And so that and more than 85% of those are black.
Yeah, it's
So I
about
don't know
seven.
what
But
that's.
it's at least about around 70%.
Okay,
Yes,
so
But
let's say
but
500,000 black people.
about.
All right, let me calculate that.
but again, here. But I agree with what you're saying as far as getting money together. Because, for instance, that's one thing I've advocated here in the city is like, hey, the reason that our politicians have been turning coat on us is because they're being brought out. So what we need to start doing is start lobbying to these politicians, just like these other ethnicities are doing in our city. Because even for instance, I'm sure like the brother can attest to. I mean, we had two policies that went through in the city. One was for BG&E, for the city to have control back of the BG&E. We voted for it. When the mayor seen that we voted for it, he revoked the vote and still gave it to BG&E. We went and put in to have term limits for our city councilmen. After we voted it in, they said, y'all don't know what y'all thinking. Y'all don't. We're gonna put it right back on the ballot again because we feel like y'all don't know what y'all talking about. So our problem is not really white supremacy or other ethnicities. Our problem is really uppity black politicians in our city because they're being brought out by other ethnicities to do whatever that these other ethnicities want to do. Like for instance, like he even said, like for instance, Northern Parkway in Baltimore City to me is the Macy-Dixie line. If you go on the right side of Northern Parkway, it's going to look completely different from the left side. And on the left side of Northern Parkway is where all the black people are.
So it looks like we've got $3.5 million at a one-time $15 fee for everybody would give three. Now times that by 12, and I think that's 42 million.
I
So
mean,
in 1 year, black people in Baltimore, Maryland, put $15 a month for 1 year, and they have 42 million. What can you do with 42 million to solve a problem in Baltimore, Maryland? Food security might be one.
But like the brother was saying, if we can't even get these people to even just come out and just do a single vote,
that's what you have to solve.
Because exactly.
No,
And one
that's
thing
your problem. Our problem. We have to solve it, and what we need to be
and
talking about is how we solve that problem.
But
Not
that's
about
that's
that we
what
can't do it and we're victims and all of that. You gotta
that's what I've
go
been saying.
get
That's
your
what I've been
pencil and
saying
paper
since I
out,
came.
go in your
I never.
community with your pencil and paper and write down all your problems and go to your Black Studies department and start talking to them scholars and people that go take courses because they're going to address most of those problems, if not all of those problems, and it's going to give you some background and information for you to be able to solve those problems.
But listen, that's what I've been saying since I came on the panel, man. But it's not gonna be up to the scholars, man. The scholars ain't got no answer, man. The
No, they're
community
going
got
to
the
give you
answer.
information that you're going to
All right,
take the
but
theoretical information and you're going to
but
apply Amos Wilson's
all right, but
psychology about why niggas don't trust each
Amos
other.
Wilson also said this is a grassroots venture, man.
Right.
This is a
Okay. So, but
grassroots.
he's giving you the psychology behind why we don't
Okay,
trust each other and why we
but
don't do shit with each other. So
all
you're
right,
going to listen to that
we
and you're
can't.
going to formulate a curriculum in your
All right,
schools, right? You're going to deal with the
right.
young people because
So
the old people
so
may be too hard to reach. You're going to deal with the curriculum that's going to give your people confidence and
all
it's
right,
going to
but
give them
I
trust
heard
in each other. That's
was
the
it you
psychological level,
was
Nah,
it you that said
right?
who
was it
authorized
you?
curriculum inside the schools?
Hold on, brother. Was it you that said we in the war?
Yes, we are. And while you're in the war, you got to
Okay,
do all of this.
all right, brother. If we in the war and we trying to win this war, We got 10, 20 years to sit down at the research table and come up with a
I
new
have
new
dedicated
formula to
my
drop a
life
bomb.
to you. I spent my money in
Okay, but
college listen,
bro, uh,
hold on. I dedicated my life to fixing the problems in my community and working in my community. I spent my money in college. I went to Africa to study, to come back in my community and make my community a better place because we thought that we could solve the problems of the world when we were in our 20s, young people. That's what we was about. We was about studying these scholars and applying that
understand it,
theory of psychology and all the other shit that we were learning
uh,
to solve our problems. And I'm saying that we
brother,
were working
brother.
toward that. And every time we would do stuff, it would be good stuff. It would be working
Okay,
on a small level, but we were also in a war and under attack, and people were undoing the shit that we were doing. That's what we have to
okay,
do as a people.
okay, okay, brother. I
Now
understand that.
you're saying okay, you're not
No, no,
listening.
no, 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 no.
No, because you're saying
Listen.
okay while I'm talking.
Okay, go ahead, man. I'm
Because
not trying to
you
disrespect
didn't really hear what I
you.
said.
Go ahead. No, I heard what you said. I heard what
What
you
did I
said. Go
say?
ahead, but finish. Go ahead,
No, what did
finish.
I say?
You said you dedicated half your life, you know what I'm saying, to doing the research, you know what I'm saying, because you understood that we was in a war or whatever, and you know what I'm saying, the
Right. You didn't hear
psychology.
what I said. Just what
Okay,
I
go ahead.
thought. That's not what
Repeat it to
that's
me.
not the depth,
Re-
not even close to the
All right,
depth.
repeat it to me. Repeat it to me.
Right.
Repeat it.
When I okay, let me say it like calmly. Let me say it like this. Those Black Studies Department is not just only theory, it's to solve our problems. They in all these different areas, right?
Yeah,
That's what it was designed for. So many of us in the 80s, we got that information. We went into the communities to solve the problems. We started nonprofits. We in some cases we just worked regular jobs and did stuff on the side, after school programs, whatever, right? This is part of what we have to do. Of course, it wasn't enough of us in there, battling out, because it's kind of a battle. But we did what little that we could do, and that's what we did. And so the more of us that do that, the more inertia we have, the more we build our communities, so that when they become gentrified, that we have to move. If we can't avert the gentrification, which in many cases we don't have the resources to, then when we move to the next area, we can take those institutions with us into those next areas, because we're going to be gentrified. That's part of the war, is the gentrification, right? That we
yeah.
don't control. So I'm saying this to you, young brother, because
All right,
you got
No,
to do
I
something.
gotta read. I gotta
I'm,
read these super chats. FBA
yeah.
Online, thank you for 499 holla. Most Africans' portfolios in the bushmeat industry. Y'all dominate the poverty and malaria sector. Thank you for the FBA Online. Thank you for 499 holla. Search Dog Meat Festival in Nigeria. Viewer discretion is advised. Mob Hit 312. Thank you for $10 holla. Thank you for the space. I respect all views. Don't forget, when you eat, my Rasa brought it to your table. We ain't going nowhere. We've been here before you had the United States of America. FBA Online, thank you for 499 holla. Hyena knuckle pepper soup is a national dish somewhere in Africa. All right, go ahead.
No, what I'm saying, brother, shot, you know what I'm saying? I totally agree with you on the theoretical mind frame, and plus you put the theory into practice. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sure you're gonna explain. I mean, I think I heard you explain why the theory failed, because maybe there wasn't enough of y'all behind the theory to put into practice or whatever. But to
It
me,
worked on
to
a
me,
small level. Yeah, it worked on a small level.
but to me, I think, and I'm gonna focus on the black man, because I mean, it's the thing I don't understand, because you know what I'm saying, the black man is a powerful human being, but I don't understand why the black man want to overthink the solution. You know what I'm saying? Like, and saying this thing and that thing and this thing and that thing. I think what we got to do is start off small, man. You know what I'm saying? First thing. Okay, if we got 100-year plan, and we know maybe none of us is gonna live to be 150 or whatever. Okay, the first thing you do once you have children is to educate your children. You know what I'm saying, into the steps to take over the solution to the problem or whatever. But if we have ancestors and we had layers of ancestors that done told us a solution, to me, the problem is the implementation, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, what about the war?
I think,
What about the war?
but wars is fought on different levels, man. Because
Right.
I think while we can complain about, oh, they burned down Black Wall Street, they torched Tulsa, Oklahoma, whatever. When a people stop fighting, that's when the people are defeated, man.
But that
That's
messed
how
up
we
our
lost.
generational wealth, though. That's why a lot of cases we would have
Okay,
a lot more generational wealth.
okay,
We don't, as a
okay,
result.
but brother, if one man is left standing, then the fight can still go on, man.
Right. But
That's
what
how.
are you fighting with?
That's
And
how.
it's $7.
That's
Okay, so you start small. You said start small. Is $7 affordable for all Black Americans? Can Black Americans once a month afford $7?
yeah. Of course we can. Of
Right.
course we
So
can.
then why
We
can't
can
Baltimore, Maryland put $7 together among 500,000 people and
because
have
because
$42 million?
because we're not willing to start off small. We're not
That's
willing to.
small. Isn't that small?
But
$7 a month ain't small?
we're not
Not
willing to do that, brother. That's what I'm trying to
Why?
tell you.
Why?
hey,
The reason
we're not
is because we don't see the outcome of doing it, man,
Right.
that
We
way,
don't
man.
have the mindset, right? We don't
Not only
have the
do we not
Exactly.
have the
mindset to
So
do it.
mindset, not only do we have the mindset, but we don't have the will
the
because
willpower, we don't have
Right.
the
we
will.
don't have the necessity. We don't have the necessity to do it because we have government
No, it's
programs that
not.
do it for that
No,
feed
it's
us.
not the
And
necessity. It's the
so
and
and
a
and,
There's
mindset.
another reason
and,
too.
and
That's
so
the
and
that's not
so
fortitude. We
no.
don't
that
have
is a
the
no, that is
fortitude.
absolutely a reason. If
No.
We don't have
when
the
black people had
fortitude.
to do things and had to put things together, black people did
We
them and
make
did them just fine.
Okay, I get
When
okay. I agree. I get you. I get you.
when the Great Society came in and everybody was told that the government was going to give them all their food and everything like that and to integrate, then everything seemed to fall apart. We have several generations of people in this country who are black who are conditioned to take food. That's the reason why the cuts they're talking about doing now is driving people crazy because I work at a Baltimore City school. I'm telling you, there are children at the school who, if they don't get food from the school, they don't eat.
They don't eat. Correct.
No, I get what you're saying, and I agree with you. But I'm saying that you have to convince the people. You have to educate and convince the people that this $7 a month that you're paying, that you could get another streaming service, right? Because they're already paying $15 for one, and they're going to pay $7 for something that it
So
doesn't seem that tangible.
Bro,
You have to convince them why they need to pay $7 a month for a year.
here's
can
the
I
thing
can I
too
can
is
I
that
ask
And
is
Alan a
that
can I
question?
say something?
Can I ask,
the leaders in again, like I said before, our problem here in the city is not white supremacy. Our problem
no.
here in the city is black politicians, our black leaders here in the city. They've been
Alan,
compromised. They're
Black
Alan, can I ask
politicians are
you a
compromised.
question?
being
So,
used by
so,
white supremacy.
so,
Yeah.
like for instance, I remember like a long time ago, I was listening to a black radio station here in Baltimore, and they were kept on talking about registering to vote, registering to vote. So I called in and said, hey, I said, why you're registering our people to vote? Why don't you ask them for $1 or maybe $2 just to go to the candidate that is agreeing or is with our political views? And they were like, no, why should we ask them for money? We're already kicking out money. We're already doing this. So, and like I said, that our black leaders here are already compromised by the system. So that's the
Stop.
problem here is
Does
that
that stop
Okay,
black
can I
people
can
from
I
putting
Calling in the
$7
dictator.
together?
leaders.
can I ask a
Does
question?
that
We
Can I
stop
ask
black
Alan?
people from coming together and putting $7 together? A bad politician doesn't stop that.
Yes,
All
he
right, can I
does.
ask?
Yes, he does.
Can I?
Yes, he does.
All right,
Because it's all
No,
privy about
a
the
bad.
information.
Can I
It's
add
all
one more
about. It's
thing?
all privy about information that's being sent
can
out.
I ask a
And if
question?
he
Can I
and
ask a
A
if
bad
they're
question?
black
going
politician
against it,
doesn't do that. But
yes, he
when it
does.
doesn't help, it doesn't help. It doesn't help when you have people like what's the guy Jay Morrison there who did the Tulsa project, and he asked people to go ahead and kick in money and contribute, and they don't get nothing out of it, right? It doesn't help. It doesn't help when you got people like Tariq Nasheed who tells people to kick in money and they get it. They get a lounge instead of a museum, they get a lounge or something else like that. Many people have been ripped off by many of our people who have these grand ideas, either because they don't have the ability to execute the idea or they're flat out grifting and taking the
Okay, but
money off of people.
Right.
We know the
So
reason. We
you've
know the
got to
reason for
convince
that.
the people that you're
But
not grifting and that this is not a grand ideal. This is very basic, and you
can
break it
I
down to them, and you fully disclose what it is, what it's going to do, and that's it.
can I ask a question? And I want to make a comment before I ask a question, man. Because the brother that spoke before Alan, he was harping on the black politicians, man. I mean, come on, man. I mean, did Booker T. Washington? Did Booker T. Washington not tell us back in the early 1900s or the late 1800s that we got to drop our buckets where we at, man? You know what I'm saying? That's what he said, man. He said, yo, get it where you at, man. You know what I'm saying? Before you focus on politics, man, get your weight up, man. And now
What does that
now
look like, though? What do you
a
mean
hundred,
specifically? Give us an example.
wait. See, this the problem with the Negro. This the problem
Speak.
with the
No, no.
Negro, man.
Just speak
Hold
your
on, but
point.
let me
Give me
finish.
all
Let
the
me finish.
adjectives don't need.
Let
Just
me
speak your
finish.
point.
All right, I'm trying to say, man, yo, then like when I was learning my trade, in the islands, man. You know what I'm saying? And Alan probably knows this statement, man. You know what I'm saying? Because his family from the islands, man. Yo, the dude that was telling me my trade, man, he was like, yo, he's telling me I take telling like a donkey, man. That's black people, man. They take telling like a donkey, man. You got to keep telling them over and 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 over. Stop. We gotta stop telling our people the same thing over and over when we know what we got to do, but we refuse to do it, man. And I wanted to ask Alan the question, man, because he said if black people don't get these the black children don't get these school lunches, they don't eat. So are you telling me? Are you telling me in Baltimore the only thing that these black people eat, the only thing that these black children eat all day is school lunches
There
or
are
school
people.
breakfast?
There is a. If you go to a school with that's free and reduced lunch, there is a significant population. Not all, not most, but a significant portion of the population of school where there are kids who, if they don't eat at school, they do not eat. We had to keep
For the
the
rest of the day.
cafeteria open. We had
For
to
the
keep the
rest of the day.
cafeteria open during the pandemic. School was closed. Cafeteria was open the whole time.
So their mothers and fathers is crackers, and they don't get no money
Some
and
of
nothing
them.
like that.
Some of them. Some of them.
And
Okay,
that's
but
that population.
crackers do gotta go buy crack, right?
Well. This in Baltimore is way worse than crack. We have heroin addicts here.
Okay, but heroin addicts do gotta go buy heroin, right?
Heroin addicts. Have you ever encountered a heroin addict? They're
Bro,
not
I'm
very
here in New
useful.
York.
They're not
Bro,
very.
I'm here
They're
in New
not
York,
much
man.
use for
But yo, let me tell
anything.
you something, man.
They're
Hey,
very useful.
guys, we got to close out. Everyone, thanks so much for
Yeah.
joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family. Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Peace.
Power to the people, Diners.